into Ingle. 1-0 Chelsea.
Hansen! Brilliant goal!
Here's Sam Kerr. Never in doubt. Chelsea, FA Cup winners 2022.
Place at Wembley on the line. No, she's not kept it out. Mary Earp's own goal. Jolton scores inside the opening minutes of this second half. And here goes Russo! The Carter in, Brighton back in this. And it's Rachel Williams! History for Manchester United.
Well, we now know who one of the FA Cup finalists are and who will be walking out at Wembley on May 14th. After a 5-goal thriller, Manchester United are through for the first time in the club's history. And now it's all about Chelsea and Aston Villa to see who will take that final spot and join Mark Skinner's side under the famous art. Villa saw off last year's finalist Manchester City in the quarter-finals. Question is, can they put out the holders today? Well, Carla Ward goes for one change to the side that lost to Chelsea 2 weeks ago, and that's Mailing coming in. And Chelsea are hoping to match last year's success and add a 5th FA Cup trophy to that cabinet. Kerr, Carter and Cuthbert all feature, but still no Millie Bright at the back. It's holders Chelsea against Aston Villa in the Vitality Women's FA Cup semi-final, and kick-off from a buzzing Bescott Stadium is just over 20 minutes' time. Hello, and I'm delighted to be joined by two guests today who have both had their hands on the silverware on offer today. It is Rachel Brown-Finnis and Anita Asante. Anita, I'm going to come straight to you because we've all played in this competition and it has always been the showpiece of the women's game.
Yeah, absolutely, Alex. You know, we've both been here 4 times. I've been to an FA Cup final. It's the best competition for me, an opportunity to get to Wembley, you know, play in front of a massive crowd, and hopefully one of these teams will be bringing silverware back.
Yeah, when we talk about these two teams, Rachel, Chelsea have played Aston Villa 10 times in all competitions, won 10 times. What do Aston Villa need to do to change that today?
Well, they need to draw on the belief that they've shown this season. You know, they're hard to beat at home. They beat Man City twice, something that, you know, Chelsea didn't do a couple of weeks ago. So they have the talent, they've got the ability to pull out these big performances at key times. And I think for a neutral, wouldn't it be great to see Aston Villa against Man United in the final? Well, for the first ever time.
Well, we can ask Anita. Anita, you've played for both teams.
Yeah.
What are you today?
I mean, I think it would be fantastic for Aston Villa, you know, to add that experience as well, get to a final. But, you know, I think it'll be difficult today. You know, what Rachel said there, I wonder if they've learnt lessons from the last outing against Chelsea and how to stop Sam Kerr and obviously create more opportunities in front of goal.
Yeah, well, we just saw that Serena Wiegmann is in the crowd, Rachel, because obviously it's a big summer and some of these players, they're up for selection.
They are, no doubt, and after, you know, performance beating Brazil at Wembley, but then falling to Sam Kerr's Australia in midweek, that was disappointing. The likes of Jordan Nobbs, who have previously been at World Cups, who've been at European Championships, have been England regulars but have been out because of injury, are really desperate, and have Jordan particularly moved from Arsenal to Aston Villa to play more regularly, to get herself into that England team. So she'll be wanting to put on a stunning display today, you know, as alongside Rach Daly, who Carla Ward brought in to really spearhead the attack for Aston Villa. They're two players that could be huge for Aston Villa today with their experience.
Yeah, well, like you just mentioned, all good things must come to an end. And England lost 2-0 to Australia on Tuesday night, ending the Lionesses' 30-game unbeaten run. And yes, Sam Kerr, the Chelsea centre-forward, had a huge part to play in that. She's with Jeanette Quache.
Sam, good to see you. You're fresh off the back of breaking English hearts over the Matildas and getting an incredible win. It must feel good ahead of the World Cup.
Yeah, it's always nice to have a win with the national team, but obviously against a great team like England, it was extra special and puts us in a good place, I guess, confidence-wise going into the World Cup.
And a home World Cup as well. I'm sure for you that's a brilliant place to be in.
Yeah, I mean, we saw the success of the Lionesses at the home Euros, so hopefully we can replicate that. But it's going to be an amazing moment and hopefully an amazing tournament.
We did see you, though, step off of a little bit of an injury. How are you feeling now? How's the body holding up?
Nah, it wasn't my call to come off. I would have stayed on if I could have, but just jarred the knee a little bit. But now, like I said, I would be good for today and I am good to go.
Let's talk about today then. Last time out in the WSL, you were here against Villa. A good, significant win. What did you learn from that game and what do you think you're going to bring to this today?
Yeah, obviously I thought we played really well last game, but the last game means nothing. I think Villa will bring a different game today, and I think they probably would have been disappointed with their performance. So we're expecting a totally different team, and they've had some great results this week. So we've got a lot of respect for them, and we'll have to put our best foot forward.
Sam, the treble is still on, okay? So how hard is it not to think about the ultimate prize and really focus on this game today?
I think it is difficult, but when there's an FA Cup at stake, this is the most important game. And watching last night, anything can happen. So we've got to be really focused, and we want to be playing in that final at Wembley. So we've got to focus today and hopefully get the win.
Well, wish you the best of luck.
Thank you very much. Cheers.
What a player she is. I was actually at the game on a Tuesday night, and the interesting thing, Anita, was that she actually didn't have a lot of the ball. Australia didn't dominate possession, but when she does get the ball, we all know she's so lethal with it.
Yeah, Sam Kerr's a striker who has that killer instinct, you know, whether she's involved in the game or not, she comes alive in these moments. And you saw her throughout the game stretching it, because she'll run in behind the defensive line, and one ball, you know, takes out the whole England defence, forces a mistake, and who's there to pounce with a lovely finessed chip finish? Sam Kerr. And that's what she'll do tirelessly throughout 90 minutes.
Doesn't need more than that one sniff at goal, that one opportunity. You know, it's borderline whether it was offside, a mistake of judgment from Leah Williamson to head it back. But Sam Kerr knew if that header was going back, she was going to be first to it. And that's exactly what Australia and certainly Sam Kerr bring.
Yeah, well, she's managed to reach, 50 goals in the WSL. And actually that goal came a couple of weeks ago against Aston Villa, Rachel.
Yeah, in only her third season. And that, you know, that when she first arrived, she wasn't in prolific goal scoring form, and you know there were questions asked about actually her capabilities, but she has answered any of those cynics, any of those critics who thought that maybe she wasn't quite, you know, one of the world's best strikers, which she was touted as. But you know, in the short time that she's been here, she has made such an impact. Not just the goals she scored for Chelsea, but the belief and the level of professionalism, the spotlight as well that it's brought to the Women's Super League. We know the profile of the league and of the game is ever increasing, but you know, to have one of the world's best players who's been the all-time leading goal scorer in the NWSL in the US, which preceding the WSL was the glamorous league to be in. Yeah. You know, again, it just showcases the talent, worldwide talent that the WSL has now.
Yeah, it's a special club to be a part of, that 50 club. And we just put it up there to see Farrah Williams' name as well. We know she's going to be happy with that a bit later on. But when we're talking about this Chelsea side, one important player they are missing, Anita, is in defence with Millie Bright.
Yeah, I think it's a big miss for Chelsea, actually, because she's a great character, a real leader, and she'll put her head on everything. And she's been involved in, you know, all the games this season because she's a stalwart in the back line. And yeah, I think she's a big miss in terms of in possession as well, stretching the game, playing those longer range passes. And they've looked a bit iffy without her, even in, you know, their other competitions as well.
Yeah, they have a lot of important players, and another important person who's been influential at the club over the last decade is their manager, Emma Hayes. She's with Jeanette.
Emma, international break, I know it can be a tricky time for some managers. They worry about the state of the players when they come back. How happy are you with your players on the return?
Yeah, 2 good training sessions, prepared as we possibly can be. We know it's going to be a difficult game. They're going to have a big crowd here, so just looking forward to kick-off.
And in terms of Aston Villa, last time out, a significant win, but mentality might be a bit different this time. What are you expecting from them?
A completely different game. I think they'll be aggressive from the off. I think they'll be more direct. I think with Mayling coming into the team, a lot of early crosses into the box. We're prepared for that, so it's up to us as a team, make sure we deal with their threats, then impose ourselves.
In terms of you being here now, the treble is still on, an exciting time for your team. We asked Sam Kerr how she felt about it. She said it's hard not to think about all the trophies. What about yourself?
I'm thinking about this next 90 minutes. I want to take care of all the details, make sure we're prepared properly. That's all my focus is on.
And any changes in terms of team news compared to last time out?
Can't remember what the team was last time round, but this is the team we've selected and I'm very happy with it.
We look forward to seeing it. Well done.
Cheers, thanks.
Well, I actually believe it's 5 changes to that team from last time. But one person hoping to spoil Chelsea's treble dream is Rachel Daly, who has been in sensational form for her club. She caught up with Joe Curry.
Carla's got a great balance here of, having fun and working hard, and I'm at my best when I'm enjoying myself, as is everyone else, and it's a great place to be. The team's in a good shape, good place. We went on a great run from the new year. Yeah, I'm enjoying my football, enjoying it at Villa and enjoying just being around all the girls. It's a great bunch of girls and a great atmosphere, so that definitely helps going into games on a weekend.
Across all competitions, you've now reached the 20-goal mark. You must have one that stands out in your mind as your favourite.
I would probably say the City one, the first game of the season.
Daly will curl, what a goal!
I think that was probably my favourite one just because of the way it happened, and obviously winning that game was massive, but there's a few, I could pick a few actually, but that's probably my favourite one.
What's Carla Ward, your manager, said to you about the way she wants you to play, apart from go and score me a bagload of goals?
Yeah, she wants me to play with freedom, pick up the ball in areas, where typically maybe a number 9 wouldn't, and yeah, just play with a bit of freedom and enjoyment, and more so just being in and around the box.
Now, being a striker for Villa, I'm sure, is a lot of responsibility, but you have responsibilities at home as well. How's your dog?
She's amazing. I've actually got her with me. I bring her in every day, so she's here.
She's here?
Yeah.
Can we see her?
Of course.
Amazing.
Hello, sausage. Hi. Yeah. She sits in the change room. She's got her own space. She's got her own bed. The girls are actually fuming if I don't bring her in. Everyone loves the FA Cup, and the beauty of it is that anything can happen. We've had not the easiest run, obviously playing 2 WSL sides. I always say if you want to be the best, you've got to beat the best, and that's something we need to look for on Sunday. We need to show up, but credit to Chelsea, they've been fantastic for however many years now, and Emma's got them working like clockwork now. So it's going to be a tough game, tough test, but one that we're all really looking forward to.
The last team you played in the league before the break was Chelsea. If you want a different result this weekend, what needs to change?
Can't tell you that, because they'll know. This is the first time everyone's been together since the last game. I'm sure there'll be a lot of video footage this morning, and Carla will break it down into everything that we need to fix. We know as players what we need to do a little bit better and what we can bring. We're constantly striving for better every day here, on and off the pitch. Sitting in at 5th at the minute was a goal that we had, maybe in a 3-year plan. So I think we've overachieved because of how we've become so close-knit on and off the pitch. And we're in a really good place, but I think, yeah, being at an FA Cup final at Wembley with this team would be something special.
Yeah, it surely would. Anita, what is remarkable is that she's already scored 21 goals this season. Aston Villa as a team only scored 13. So it just shows what she's come in and what she's done.
Well, I was just going to say, Alex, we didn't score many when I was there because I scored one in a derby. So, yeah, I think, for me, she's a signing of the season. The impact she's had, one of the biggest problems for Villa was scoring goals and getting those opportunities. But Rachel Daly has come in and transformed it. And it's also made Aston Villa actually a more attractive club as well to come to for other signings.
Yeah, to even think about it, when you think about her playing for England, Rachel, she was a left back in the Euros. So how she then changes into a centre forward and scores that amount of goals?
Well, she's the best kept secret, isn't she? She's a left back who scores loads of goals, but she's been doing that for years in America, which is where she spent, you know, most of her professional career. And, you know, if Aston Villa, if Chelsea are looking at stopping Villa, they need to stop Rachel Daly. But how you do that, I think, is anyone's best guess, because she scores goals, all different sorts of goals, near post runs, headers. She's strong in the air, dangerous off set pieces. And this one here just wraps her foot round the ball. And this is the opening game of the season against Manchester City, when I don't think too many people gave them hope of getting a result, and they did that, and it was all down to her.
I think what we saw from that analysis as well, Anita, is her movement is so great to pull off defenders.
Yeah, she's intelligent. She makes intelligent runs and movement. She's a focal point for the team now, so they're looking for her. They're serving in early deliveries and crosses from wide areas, and she'll make that unselfish, you know, near post run, where 9 times out of 10 she'll be the one to connect and finish. But, you know, you can't underestimate her aerial ability too. She's really good with her head in the box.
If you're Serena Wiegman right now, are you thinking about her as a left back or a centre forward in that team?
I think that's the beauty of it, isn't it? You've got your coaching staff there as well. She can do both, and you know that she can perform at international level doing both. So what an option it is. So I think she's wonderful in Aston Villa's team as well, because she sets the press. She's not a luxury player who waits for the ball to come to her. Yeah. She will work her backside off for the team to get that win, to get them over the line, as well as having a huge amount of quality.
Okay, well, happy players, they say happy manager. And Carla Ward said of that quarter-final win over Manchester City, it was the best night in the club's history. Well, let's see what she's got to say ahead of today's game. She's with Jeanette.
Carla, when that whistle goes today, you're 90 minutes away potentially from Wembley. How exciting is that? But also, how to keep composure as well for this game?
It's got a good ring to it, hasn't it? I think, look, many probably didn't expect us to be here at this point. It's exciting, you know, it's exciting because we're up against, for me, the best team in the country, and they've proven that, you know, they're serial winners. We've got to match that today, and we've got to be absolutely at it, which we will be, no doubt. You know, my players have been excellent this season, and last couple of days, good spirit, so I've got to take that now into hopefully what's going to be a packed-out Walsall.
And last time out, it was Chelsea, again, back-to-back Chelsea. And what did you learn from the last time that you're hoping to bring to this particular game?
Honestly, we learned quite a lot because, you know, I don't think we really, not that we didn't turn up. Chelsea were excellent that day, but I don't think we did things that we would usually do. We didn't look after the ball well enough. That's something we're going to have to do tonight because, you know, we allowed them too much in the first game. So, yeah, that's something we've got to make sure we're absolutely at it and tidy up with the ball.
And in terms of the team news, how different does the team look compared to last time as well?
Yeah, it certainly gives us more balance. You know, we miss Sarah Malin because she's been exceptional this season. So it's really important to have her back, get Lucy back in the middle of the park because we missed her energy as well. So, yeah, it certainly gives us a little bit more balance all over the pitch.
Brilliant stuff. Wish you best of luck today.
Thank you.
Yeah, well, she definitely has those Aston Villa fans believing and dreaming of getting to that final at Wembley. She really does. When you look at today's game, actually, Rachel, is it the battle in midfield when you're thinking about the players for Chelsea and a midfielder like Jordan Nobbs?
Well, I think that's where, you know, we talked about Sam Kerr being a threat up front and Rachel Daly, the two centre forwards, are the obvious ones. But the experience that these two bring, Jordan Nobbs has won the FA Cup numerous times with Arsenal, and Erin Cuthbert as well. And they're very similar in some ways. Out of possession are the first ones to try and win the ball back for their team, but have got excellent. They've got excellent attacking skills. You see the vision here. The ball played through isn't exactly perfect and not on her feet. And Erin Cuthbert, you know, matches what Jordan Nobbs just did in that first clip. First one to rat around and to win the ball, have that energy and have that vision to set a team off once they've regained possession. A little bit better quality, a bit of better movement out wide actually from Lauren James on this account. But, you know, they can also come up with goals.
Well, these are two quality players, you know. They can arrive in the box and finish, but they always go from defence to attack really quickly, and they're thinking about what's the next thing I can do. Here's a bit of individual quality again from Erin Cuthbert to just go for that volley, and you know, what a wonderful strike that is. And that's what you're going to see from both players. You know, they harass you. They're the kind of players that I hate to play against when I played. You know, they get around you, they're nipping at your heels, but they're going forward first, thinking, you know, how can I set off my team?
Let's talk a bit more about Jordan Nobbs, because you think it was a huge decision for her to finally leave Arsenal, where she wasn't getting game time, to come here, and she's had such an impact.
Yeah, Sunderland born and then headed down to Arsenal, which is where she became a regular starter for Arsenal, starter for England, and then she's had, tragic injuries that have kept her out. She's desperate to get back in Serena Wiegmann's plans and to be here. As I said, teaming up with Rachel Daly and other England internationals gives her a great chance. She'll get minutes, she'll rat around, she'll show Serena Wiegmann exactly why she needs her in her team, because she's a great personality to have part of your team as a squad as well.
Do you think, Anita, that the experience of the Chelsea squad has a huge part to play today in this?
Massive. This is a team of serial winners that want to get to every competition, every final. And you're going to see that today. They're already out of the Conti Cup final, so this is a big one for them to set off, the rest of their ambitions this season in terms of the title race and also Champions League.
It's great to see the fans. They're having a bit of a sing-song as well. It's believed that 500 Chelsea fans have made their way to the Bescott Stadium. We are moments away from kick-off. It's the semi-final of the Vitality Women's FA Cup. So let's get you to your commentary team today. Farrah Williams is alongside Robin Cowan.
Thank you very much, Alex. Good afternoon, everyone. One game from Wembley. Well, Aston Villa have already had their best ever league season. Can it become their most memorable one? They have the sizable hurdle to clear in Chelsea, their opponents, imperious in this competition in recent seasons, and are still on course for a third consecutive FA Cup triumph. High stakes here in Walsall. The second semi-final of this season's FA Cup. The winners to play Manchester United at Wembley. So here are your two teams. The two sides played each other in the WSL 2 weeks ago. Chelsea were comfortable 3-0 winners. Villa make just one change from that team. Sarah Mayling returns from injury at right back. Laura Binkiller-Brown drops to the bench. Kenza Dali keeps up her record of starting every single game in all competitions this season. Rachel Daly has scored 6 in the FA Cup, including 4 in the first round against Fylde. Remy Allen and Simone McGill are both named on the bench after lengthy knee injuries. There's more injury trouble for Chelsea. Kadisha Buchanan added to the list of absentees. 5 changes from the win here a fortnight ago. Eve Perisset, Maren Mielder, Melanie Leupolz, Erin Cuthbert and Lauren James all come in. Sam Kerr notched her 50th WSL goal last time out and helped Australia end England's unbeaten run under Serena Wiegmann over the international break. Pernilla Harder, who's been out with a hamstring injury since November, is named among the substitutes. So a couple of players, Farrah Williams, you wanted to highlight, starting with Staniforth, lining up in a more familiar position today.
Yeah, I think we heard Aston Villa manager Carla Ward mention that they need more possession. I felt like in the WSL fixture, they missed somebody like Lucy Staniforth in the middle, controlling that possession for Aston Villa. So in a much preferred position, and with Serena Wiegmann in the stand here, she'll want to make an impression for the Lionesses come the summer.
And a regular for the Lionesses now, Jess Carter started both games over the international break and is a regular now with Chelsea. What has she got to face today?
I think in the absence of Buchanan and Minnie Bright, I think it's crucial that, Jess Carter steps up today against Rachel Daly, who's in form for Aston Villa with goals. So I think it'll be a different challenge for her today, and I'd imagine her to play a different position.
Referee today is Cheryl Foster. And the winners will make it to Wembley. The two managers, Carla Ward and Emma Hayes, in good spirits ahead of this one. I'm sure once it all kicks off, the mood might change a touch. Both fiercely competitive, and as mentioned in the build-up, Carla Ward rightly said that the win against Manchester City in the semi-final was the biggest in their history. This certainly would top that. They've struggled against Chelsea, they've never beaten them, they've never even drawn against them in their previous 9 meetings. So this would be an absolutely monumental result for a team on the rise in Aston Villa. Both teams take the knee ahead of kick-off, as they have done in every single domestic fixture so far this season. And Aston Villa get us underway in the claret and blue. Chelsea, depleted, but still have that fear factor. They know how to win, and they've shown, even when their backs are against the wall, especially in the Champions League this season, they just know how to get it done, Farah.
Yeah, they have that know-how. They've shown that over the years. Their winning mentality under Emma Hayes has certainly strengthened over the years. It will be a difficult afternoon for Aston Villa, but one I'm sure the players and the manager are looking forward to. One game away from an FA Cup final.
Here is Rachel Daly. Away from Melanie Leupolz, who is wearing a protective mask. She broke her nose in the incredible win against Lyon in the second leg of their Champions League game. Sam Kerr closing down the keeper. Out of play, and it is a throw for Chelsea. As always, Farah, question marks as to how Chelsea line up.
I'm just trying to work that out. I think with all the injuries Chelsea have got, coming back off international, and they have a lot of internationals within their team, it's just trying to find the the formation that will best suit Chelsea this afternoon. But they look as if they're playing with a flat back four, maybe one just sitting in front and then a four, and just Sam Kerr, up front alone by herself. So yeah, it's interesting how the game will develop with this formation.
Stanforth as well to turn away from the challenge there. Nobbs trying to find Daly. Well defended by Mjelde, plays it back to the goalkeeper. The flag is up anyway. But Buchanan and Bright have been the preferred centre-half pairing. It's Eriksson and Mjelde today. So perhaps something that Villa could exploit.
Yeah, but these are both very experienced centre-halves, and over the years have served this Chelsea women's team very well. Two exciting centre-halves that I've certainly enjoyed watching, very smart. So I think in terms of understanding Rachel Daly's movement, I know Mjelde probably doesn't have the pace to pick up with Daly. She certainly has the experience and know-how. So yeah, I think it's a very good centre-half pairing there for Chelsea, and smart from Emma Hayes to go with those two.
Well won by Kurt. And a crucial intervention there by Turner. Guru Wrighton was threatening to latch onto it in behind.
Dan Turner does well to cover that. I think her positioning originally from the first ball was probably a little bit wrong, flat-footed, and you can't allow Wrighton to have the run on you. So good recovery defending from Turner there.
First corner of the game inside the first 3 minutes. And it looks like it's going to be Perisset to take it. Wrighton not looking 100% comfortable. We'll keep an eye on that. Chelsea can ill afford more injuries. Big semi-final in the Champions League coming up, as well as this one. Here comes the corner, away by Daly. Good strong header away, and Alicia Lehmann will try and bring this one away. Chelsea defend the through ball. It's back in the possession of Villa. Hampton back in the #1 position between the sticks, and also back in the England squad. So going out with personal reasons. A swing from Lauren James. She's caught Pacheco. Free kick for Villa.
Yeah, slightly late there from Lauren James, but Maz Pacheco certainly playing on that a little bit, but clever. You see here, she just catches her on the toe. They are sore, but not enough to go down. But I think, something that Aston Villa will want to do. They'll want to game manage, and delaying time and slowing down Chelsea's play will be one that I think they'll use this afternoon.
She's someone you'd know quite well, isn't it? Maz Pacheco. There is Carla Ward, and she has taken on Aston Villa another level. Guided them to 9th last season, and they've cemented pretty much 5th this time out. And they could be the season's disruptors. They might have a big say in where the title goes as we reach the business end of the WSL season. What an achievement it's already been, but incredible that she managed to get her side to Wembley. Over the top from Cuthbert. Hampton has all the time in the world. There is Patton on loan from Arsenal. That's a good-looking ball towards Lehmann. Chelsea in retreat. Lehmann couldn't quite get the cross off. Musovic gathers. Danger.
Yeah, Chelsea are playing a really high line here. You can see here the line is really high, and one ball is beating the whole back four, and with the pace that Aston Villa have in their front three, I think it's a bit risky to play that line. You see here, great recovery from Jess Carter to get herself in a position to make a challenge, but the start position I think is too high from the Chelsea back four.
Getting a bit of joy already, but here's Sam Kerr. No one engaging. This could be trouble. Vera Wrighton couldn't find her feet. There's Jordan Nobbs for Villa. Now Lehmann. Closed down well. Chelsea try and win it back with Erin Cuthbert. No foul. And there is one on Kenza Dali though.
I think it's late there from Cuthbert. I think it was come from the frustration just moments earlier. Cuthbert felt she should have got the foul. Here's the Sam Kerr chance where she just gets into a really good position and drives towards the box, and a danger player for Chelsea.
Again, the long ball over the top. Really pays off for Villa. Perisset manages to get the ball down the line for Lauren James. Bit of space to run into here. Trying to get around Pacheco. Does really well there. Standerforth again, allowed to pick her head up. Tries to find Nobbs. Daly's there for the knockdown. Hansen and now Dali. Decent enough start from Villa, but they had a decent enough start in the WSL game a couple of weeks ago and they ended up 3-0 down.
Yeah, they've started well, but I think they've also started at an intensity that Chelsea are quite comfortable defending. So I think if they up the intensity, I think especially the amount of international players this Chelsea team have, they might struggle.
17 away on international duty for Chelsea. Here's Jordan Nobbs. Four times an FA Cup winner with Arsenal. Positive play from Dali. Cross is blocked. Chelsea will try and bring it away. Aimless ball forward.
I think Aston Villa just have to be careful when they're going forward. I think they're committing a lot of bodies forward to try and get that goal, but what they're leaving themselves vulnerable at the back. With Sam Kerr's pace, it only takes one long ball in behind, and giving Sam Kerr a chance, it could be a completely different game.
Nobbs. Hansen's made the run forward, but Musovic off her line quickly. England coach here watching on with interest. Quite a few in the squad, and also knocking on the door, hoping to get on the plane for that long flight to Australia. Daly back helping out, lays it back to Pacheco. Daly turning away from the challenge, asking quite a lot of Lehmann there. You can see what the tactic is from Villa.
Yeah, you can see they are wanting to go beyond this Chelsea back line. They probably see a potential with the speed in the Villa front line. But Rach Daly, for me, is dropping far too deep to collect the ball. It should be her that's making those advanced runs, not her playing those passes. But yeah, we'll see how that develops throughout the half.
Well worth a watch in the build-up. Interview with Rachel Daly and her dog Dexy, who apparently has a number of Instagram followers, more than we could ever wish for. Daly, again trying to play it out to the far side to Lehmann, cleared up well by Carter. And the bounce of the ball just favouring Villa at the moment, but Dali can't get onto Patton's ball forward. James, exchanging passes with Cankovic. Leopolds turned out for Germany for the first time over the international break since she gave birth last October. James on to Cankovic. She had time to measure the cross, but tried to play in James. In the end, it's off Pacheco for another corner.
I feel like Lauren James can be a little bit more positive in her play when she picks up the ball. Every time it's gone to her, she's looking for those comfortable passes. The first time she's actually played a forward pass, she's created something for her team. So I feel like she needs to be more positive when she receives the ball.
The second corner of the game for Chelsea. And Perisset delivers. Eriksson got her head to it, but straight into the gloves of Hannah Hampton.
It's a good delivery. It's a driven corner. I quite like these driven ones because it just needs to be guided towards goal, but just not enough on it from Eriksson there, but a good effort towards goal.
Good movement from Eriksson. Well, Darley's lost it in a dangerous area. Kerr trying to play in Guro Wrighton, and good strength from Mailing.
An interesting one. I thought they both had each other's arms. You can see there Wrighton. So in live play, I felt Mailing was the one that was giving the foul away. You can clearly see on the replay it was Wrighton trying to be clever. A good matchup down that left-hand side. Wrighton against Mailing, an up-and-coming fullback for Aston Villa, good young player, and Wrighton very experienced and in great form, so it's a good challenge down that left-hand side.
6 goals in the last 10 appearances for Guro Wrighton. Perisset trying to flick it past Kirsty Hansen, who read it well. She's given it away here, Leupolz. Now James. Chelsea have already reached the cup final this season, but they lost it. Selhurst Park to Arsenal. Again, asking a little bit too much. Cankovic seen out of play by Anna Patton. I imagine that's going to be a bit obstructive, isn't it?
I think that would be my excuse if I had a bad game that I couldn't see out of either side. So yeah, I certainly won't be able to play with that around my head. But she's actually having a good game with that on her.
You're right, though. It's a good physical excuse, ready-made. Foul, the free kick given to Chelsea.
Just a little bit late from Mailing. You can see Wrighton's already released a pass before the challenge, so it's in a bit of a dangerous area here for Aston Villa to defend.
And Eriksson got ahead to the ball, to the last one. That's taken short to Cuthberts. Nearly overran it. Referee waves play on. She got the ball. Here's Lauren James. Flashes it wide. Did well to work the space, but off target.
Yeah, it's a big chance for Chelsea, Lauren James, and I'm sure she would have expected herself to hit the target. You can see here Maz Pacheco's down in the middle of the park, and it actually come from Erin Cuthbert taking a really heavy touch in the middle of the park and then has to lunge at the ball. And I think she just catches her with a follow-through. You'll see here, she's had to lunge because her touch wasn't great. And she's just caught Maz Pacheco as well. But an experienced referee, you know, enforced that she's played before, so she knows the game, and I think she played the advantage quite well there.
Certainly took the ball first, but got Pacheco as well. She's up. And this was the James chance that Hannah Hampton was fairly confident was going wide.
Yeah, I felt she should have took it earlier. The ball got stuck under Lauren James's feet.
Mailing down the line. Looking for Alicia Lehman, who's in behind here. It's Lehman, and it's a really good challenge from Eriksson.
Looks like she's offside.
Again, the flag was up. It looked pretty close.
Really close. She looks like she could be onside here. I think Eriksson herself plays her on. But a tight one. A tight call there for the linesman.
really trying to utilise that pace of Alicia Lehmann down the right-hand side. Swiss international. Runner-up with West Ham United in the FA Cup back in 2019. Maren Mjelde. Wins the header and finds Stankovic. What a great touch from Jess Carter, but she's made up for it with a good second one. Another corner.
I think that's what you have when you have a striker like Sam Kerr up front for you. Her hold-up play and her awareness and strength of people around her. You saw the ball forward to her from Mjelde, just dropped in, and she just wins the knockdown. Really good header.
Starting them early, tremendous. Well worked, sent low by Guru Wrighton and sent over the top by Lauren James. Again, could have done a bit better with that. She was unmarked.
Yeah, really worked corner here, as you mentioned. Wrighton just plays it hard and low on the floor, and James finds herself free. I think it looks as if it just bobbles up. It's either it's just bobbled up here, or she's leaning back as she strikes. You just saw the bobble, a slight bobble, plus Lauren James leaning back. It's only going to go one way, and that's up and over the crossbar.
Emma Hayes, 11 major trophies, and has played 9-1-9 against Aston Villa as Chelsea coach.
Not bad, that. 11 major trophies in 10 years. Some go in that.
Cuthbert, good first touch to set her on her way. Finds Wrighton. Runners ahead of her, still going Guru Wrighton. Sam Kerr making the run over on the far side, and out for a goal kick.
I think this is where Aston Villa can be vulnerable on that turnover. They're committing so many bodies forward. Once that line broke, you saw 5 Chelsea players running against an Aston Villa back four. They didn't get it right in this occasion, Chelsea, but this is something that Aston Villa certainly need to look at when they're attacking.
Leupolz. It's a good run by Stankovic, but tracked well won back by Lauren James and receives it back from Stankovic. James with the centre. Guru Wrighton couldn't reach it. Retrieved here by Erin Cuthbert. Good spell this from Chelsea. Leupolz works it to Perisset. Patient play from Chelsea. Just keep possession nicely. Find another point of attack. Perisset, now James. Delivers the ball towards Kerr. Staniforth stoops. There's a player down here, Stankovic.
Just happened off the ball as the cross was coming in from Lauren James. Stankovic looked as if she was body checked. I don't know if you could see that back.
She wasn't down for long.
can just see here, she goes to make a run, and I think it's a blind run, and Staniforth just stands her ground. It's a body check. It's naughty that from Lucy Staniforth. She knows what she's doing there, and she's got away with one.
A difficult one for Cheryl Foster to spot that one. I think Emma Hayes did, though. Here's Jordan Nobbs. Lehman, challenged by Carter. Positive play, trying to play in Kerr. Mona just about deals with that. Look at this one again, Staniforth.
I just think you can see. I think you can see from the replay, Lucy Staniforth knows what she's doing. I'm unsure if she deliberately wanted to, you know, put a forearm into the throat, but he certainly knows what she's doing. She's trying to body check her and stop her from running into the box.
Chankovic has given her the benefit of the doubt, sportingly. And Chelsea still fighting on 3 fronts: FA Cup, WSL and Champions League. Two-legged tie against Barcelona next up for them. And they are second in the WSL, 1 point behind Manchester United, but with a game in hand. Patton allowed to stride forward. Lehman delivers. Carter can't prevent the corner. Corner kick right in front of the Villa fans. Around 5,000 expected today. Staniforth delivers away by Cuthbert. Picked up by Mailing. Now Kenza Darling. A good block from Jess Carter. Committed defender.
Very good. Jess Carter's a very good 1v1 defender. Probably one of the best in the league at that.
And Pacheco could be in a bit of trouble here. Out of position. Lauren James making good ground. Needs a bit of support, or does she? It's James. And the covering challenge from Turner just took the sting out of the shot.
I think Turner does really well just to delay Lauren James, allow some of her recovering defenders to get back. You can see here she stands right well. She keeps the gap between herself and Lauren James, you know, big enough, or should I say short enough, to enable her to block the shot. So really good defending from Turner there. But this is the same thing I was talking about a little bit earlier in the game, those transition moments for Aston Villa. Chelsea seem to be outnumbering them in those transition moments in the attack, and they need to be wary of this because Chelsea could score from one of those.
Kirsty Hansen, a little bit of a push. Too much, according to the referee.
It was too obvious from Hansen. It just wasn't needed. She's in a really good position there to give herself half a chance, and she just shoves Perisset in the back here. You can just see it. Doesn't need to do it. She's going nowhere with the ball and potentially could give her, you know, certainly get her team up the pitch.
Hansen thinks that Perisset went down a little easy, but she had every right to. Midpoint of the first half. Competitive game so far, as it was yesterday at Leeds Sports Village. Brighton running Manchester United extremely close. A Rachel Williams winner, right at the death to send Manchester United to Wembley. Patton, a good interception, finds Lehman. Trying to get past Carter, which is not an easy task at all. Wrighton holds it up beautifully. Cuthbert. This is promising. Cankovic finds Kerr. Awkward height for James. Perisset. Aston Villa now back in a good shape, forcing Chelsea back.
Chelsea just look quite comfortable with the ball, playing the game at their own pace, intensity, which is what they need off the back of an international break.
Wrighton, Kerr stabs it towards goal. Lack the power.
Interesting one from Sam Kerr. The way it's a great delivery here from Wrighton, hard and low into a really good area. Good movement you see from Sam Kerr to get herself free, but she's gone with the outside of the right foot and tried to stab at it. I'd have thought she would have gone with the left foot and come onto it a little bit more and hit it hard and low. She just took the speed, the pace out of the ball, going with her right foot.
Selling Perisset a little short, but quick off the mark. Leopold's crossfield diagonal is cut out, but only as far as Cuthbert. Wrighton for Chelsea. Oh, Mailing a bit too casual there. Can't afford to do that when Erin Cuthbert's about. And Chelsea win it back. It's James! Inches wide.
Really good effort. Is Aston Villa playing themselves into trouble through the middle of the park. You can see here Staniforth plays it into Darley. She tries to drop her shoulder, good interception, and then Lauren James from the edge of the box. It's a great effort towards goal, hard and low, inches wide.
We scored 2 in the home win at Kingsmeadow against Villa. She hasn't scored it for Chelsea since February. Semi-final of the Continental Cup against West Ham. Cankovic, who drop of the shoulder over the top for Kerr. Hampton was off her line and the flag is up.
Looked like a tight one. It was a cute pass over the top from Cankovic. You can see here, Sam looks as if she's on here. This ball here from Cankovic. And a beautifully timed one for Kerr, another one, both ends, arguably onside, one for Villa and one for Chelsea, but it was a great little pass forward from Cankovic.
Kenza Darley through the legs to find Pacheco. The corner kick. So Villa can cause some problems. And Kenza Darley over this one.
See what Aston Villa could do from a set piece. They'll be important in the game, set pieces, I believe.
It's a deep cross towards the back post, kept alive. Staniforth, now Mailing. Turner towards Nobbs. approaching the half-hour mark. Chelsea have had the best chances, both of them fallen to Lauren James. They've not been taken. As you say, Farah, wouldn't expect anything else, but they look very comfortable.
Yeah, and it would have. Look, Aston Villa look like a team that haven't played together for a couple of weeks with the international break, but you'd have thought with so many internationals in this Chelsea team that Aston Villa would have played the game with more intensity and really tried to get at this Chelsea team.
Jordan Nobbs pulled up for the foul. Free kick for Chelsea. Christian Purslow, the chief executive of Aston Villa, I'm speaking with him at half-time. Could be an exceptional weekend after the men's result yesterday against Newcastle. Lehman. Cuthbert intercepts. And those precision balls, they need to be perfect.
Right idea from Erin Cuthbert. She knows she's got a winning runner in Sam Kerr's. Movement is very good off the shoulders of centre half, so that pass for Chelsea is always on. It's just a little bit forced there from Erin Cuthbert and overhit.
Lehman into Mailing, sent forward by Patton. Nobbs' touch gives possession back to Chelsea. Apart from a couple of long passes down the flanks early on, they haven't really got near to the Chelsea goal, Villa.
It's been too easy for Chelsea. You could see Jordan Nobbs is trying to get closer to Rach Daly and almost play as a front four when Villa are in possession, but what it leaves them is vulnerable in those central areas for second balls, and Chelsea have had the better of the second ball game in its opening 30 minutes.
Chankovic onto Erin Cuthbert. Pass cut out. And it's a good, well-timed challenge from Darley. Invites Hansen forward, gets onto that ball, needs a bit of support. Pacheco provides it. Here's Darley. Pacheco. They've let her go, and they've let Kirsty Hansen go. First big opportunity, and it's put well over the bar by Hansen.
They do well, Villa, here from the throw-in to create an overload of a 3v2. You can just see here they managed to create an overload here, 3v2, and Hansen finds herself space. She's got lots of time. She can drive even more so into the box before, you know, letting the shot go. But it's a good effort. One I believe that Hansen could have done better with, at least tested the keeper here.
And we're right behind the dugout. And Carla Ward is living every moment of this semi-final. Former player herself, of course. On both sides of the white line. Staniforth. Again, no one really getting close to her, allowed to progress forward. That's not a bad ball. Rachel Daly couldn't get it on target. Retrieved here by Hansen. Trying to work the space. Good defending by Mielder. Forced back, here's Staniforth. Now Pacheco. Hansen gets the cross in towards Daly. It came off a Chelsea defender. Really good build-up play from Villa. And how close was Rachel Daly to getting on the end of that?
Two big chances for Villa. The early one from the cross, and then you can see here this one. Hansen does well to get half a yard and fire one across the box. And Eriksson does really well to just get a block on Rachel Daly's touch. You see here, Rach Daly gets the initial touch, and Eriksson gets her body in line with it and blocks it and puts it out for a corner. Really good defending. But two big chances for Villa.
Here comes the corner. Darley. Lehman tries to keep it going. It's going to be retrieved here by Nobbs, but out of play. Here's what else is coming up for you on the BBC Women's Six Nations. 3 o'clock on iPlayer, France against Scotland. And then a huge game in the WSL on BBC Three Wednesday, 7:05, Manchester United against Arsenal. Could be a crucial one in the race for the title and the Champions League places as well. Error from Mailing, but Staniforth there to get her out of a bit of trouble there. Kirsty Hansen getting into the game a little bit more, and only Gua Wrighton has recorded more assists than her this season in the WSL.
Yeah, Hansen's had a really good season for Aston Villa, as you mentioned there, with the assist and a couple of goals, but when she gets the ball and goes direct, she can cause fullbacks, you know, real problems. You can just see here, a little bit late there on Mailing, and the free kick past Aston Villa.
She turns 25 tomorrow. Celebrations might depend on the result today.
I was going to say that, exactly that. There will be none if they don't get to a final, I'm sure.
Although I'm sure Carla Ward will not want too many either way.
Putting the pressure on there, Aston Villa. A few corners on the bounce now for them. They should, you know, they want to hit the target of one of these corners, or at least come up with a set piece that is going to cause this Chelsea team problems.
Chelsea have defended these fairly well, actually, these corner kicks. First contact. See what they can do from this one. Staniforth just over the head of Rachel Daly. Lehman shows a really good turn of pace.
Too big, the delivery from Lucy Staniforth, driven too long, and it clears the whole of the Aston Villa line.
Darley. Good challenge from James. Good pass from Daly. Hansen couldn't take possession. Here's Pacheco. Now Darley. A few claims for handball, didn't look like it. Turner picked up by Darley. Good strength away from Leupolz. Pokes it out of play.
Starting to get the game now, Darley. I think that's what Aston Villa have missed when they play direct. They bypass Darley, who can have an impact if you can get on the ball in those higher areas. We're starting to see that.
Started the win for France, 5-2 against Colombia in their friendly. New era under Hervé Renard. Good play from Staniforth. She's holding her back though after making that challenge. Hampton closed down, manages to get the clearance away. Here's Jordan Nobbs, pursued by Erin Cuthbert as she does. She will not give anything up. Villa work it well though. Mailing into Nobbs. And now Darley. The diagonal is going to bounce out of play. Emma Hayes doesn't look altogether happy with what's happening for her team, but seems to be some sort of a drinks break here. Maybe the goalkeeper for Chelsea. needs some treatment.
I think it might have come from a little earlier, the Rachel Daly chance at the near post. She just off the ball, it was behind the goal. She knocked her into the barrier behind the goal, and I don't know if there's impact from that, so I don't know if we have. But yeah, I think it might be something that's come from that. Could be wrong.
You see Emma Hayes really delivering her instructions. Looking very animated. As Villa are starting to create a few chances.
It's interesting, the whole Chelsea team have come together there. You can see with Emma Hayes giving the instructions, whereas Aston Villa are two parts. Half the team are here with Carla Ward in front of the dugout, and then probably the more experienced players in the middle of the park having a separate debate.
I think she wants the game to restart as quickly as possible because they had some momentum. Musovic still receiving treatment. She did take a tumble. She did sort of collide with those advertising hoardings earlier. And there's no Ann-Katrin Berger in the squad today, so you know, if this becomes a bit more serious, Emily Orman, the young goalkeeper who's yet to make her senior debut, is on the bench. Let's have a look at this.
You'll see once she goes to collect the ball and she's just trying to delay it. Rachel Daly just stamps on the foot. You can see it off the ball, and I think that's what she was getting checked as she went down. She wasn't best pleased with that, and she had a few words with Rachel Daly.
Slightly unnecessary from Daly.
I would say uncharacteristic, but I'm not sure it is. Competitive player, Rachel Daly.
There's a lot at stake here. Hansen gets the cross in, a little bit too much on that for Lehmann, but she will get onto it, forced wide. There's a lovely ball to Nobbs. Lehmann trying to pick out Darley. Nobbs towards the penalty area. And a swing from Staniforth. Held well by Musovic. Really good effort.
Musovic has just made this attempt at goal from Lucy Staniforth look really easy, and from where we were sat it certainly didn't look that way, and Lucy Staniforth just catches it and it looks like it's going away from Musovic, and as I say, she's made the save look really comfortable, but from where I'm sat it looked a lot more difficult from what the save was made.
Eriksson. Now Wrighton. Leupolz. Kurt. All the way back to Mara Mjelde. That was a bit careless from Perisset. Looked like she'd given up on it to start with, but play goes on with Lauren James. Now Cankovic. Jordan Nobbs sliding in on Leupolz. Had to time that right, and she did. Into Lehmann. Closed down by Carter. Wins it back for Chelsea. Cuthbert brings it away. Bit of space for Cuthbert. Drags it well wide.
You see the frustration there in Cuthbert's face. She does really well to create herself half a yard. She shaped up to shoot and took the extra touch to get her balance right, and then just drags it wide. But this tackle here from Jordan Nobbs, timed to perfection, a crucial tackle just inside the box to prevent Chelsea a chance at goal. You just see it here again, timed it perfectly well.
Into the final minute, the semi-final of the FA Cup. Villa holding their own. Against Chelsea, who are in their 10th Cup semi-final since 2012. James, buffeted, but she is hard to knock off the ball. Not enough on that pass out to Guro Wrighton, but it's given straight back to Chelsea and Erin Cuthbert. Kerr. find Brighton. Villa go long. 2 minutes of time added on. Great play from Cuthbert to spin away from the challenge and work the space. Chelsea try and go direct again to Sam Kerr. Hansen skipping away from one challenge, then another. Leopold's bringing her down. And this could be the final chance of the half.
Yeah, slightly late there from low post. I actually thought she won the ball from where I'm sat. So yeah, it's a good job. We've got a good referee on the pitch and right on top of it that could see it. But Hansen's really grown into this game. The second half of the first half, when she's been on the ball, she's really been direct and tried to make things happen for Villa.
Staniforth delivers towards the back post. Won well by Kerr. Nobbs is dispossessed, and this could spell trouble for Villa. James with the chop away from Staniforth, not once but twice. Assessing her options. All the way back to Cuthbert, now Carter. Chankovic delivers. It's Perisset. Big chance.
She has to hit the target from here. It's a must. I thought you can see here, really good delivery, and Perisset actually does really well. Comes on the inside of Hansen, who looks as if she's daydreaming, sets up really nicely. She even had enough time to take a touch and cushion it down, but she has to hit the target. It's a big miss this from Perisset and Chelsea on the dying, the last kick of the first half.
A real let-off for Villa, who have had some really good moments in this first half, but haven't managed to take them while they've been on top. Kirsty Hansen and Rachel Daly have had a couple of opportunities. Chelsea haven't really performed at their best so far. They can go up a gear, Farrah.
Oh, they certainly can go up a gear. I think they played within themselves and controlled the first half and stayed in the first half. They've had the better of the chances in this opening 45 minutes, but I certainly think they can up the gears in the second half, and maybe we'll see that. Potentially we could see a Chelsea change just to freshen it up. I feel like somebody like Charles would be an interesting one. Just give them a little bit of energy. Lauren James looks a little bit tired out here on the right-hand side. Normally we're used to seeing her be more direct and go at players. She hasn't done that as much in this first 45 minutes, so the second half will be interesting to see what Emma Hayes does.
Nothing between these two at the break, half-time. Aston Villa 0, Chelsea 0.
Thank you, Robin. Thank you, Farrah. We'll be back with you both very shortly. In terms of, this is Chelsea's 10th semi-final. They have had the better possession, but only slightly. But your overview of the game, Anita?
Well, I think they started off well. They created a few chances, but I do think they've got another level, a few more gears in them to just drive the intensity. We saw Aston Villa start to come back into the game towards the latter half of the first half and get more corner situations. And they're playing very direct for me. They're not getting enough link-up play, someone playing closer to Sam Kerr who can just connect and create a bit more, clear-cut opportunities.
Do you think Carla Ward will be happy with what she's seen?
I think happy how the half ended. Certainly the momentum shifted, didn't it, towards Aston Villa, and they had the better chances towards the end of that first half, but it was all Chelsea till then. Lauren James, Sam Kerr, Erin Cuthbert, Guru Wrighton, I felt had quite a bit of joy, but a really good contest down that left-hand side. And they just weren't sharp at the top end of the pitch, Chelsea, and didn't really capitalise on that opening 25-minute dominance.
Well, actually, we spoke about one striker, Rachel Daly, and she had a couple of chances for Aston Villa, Anita.
Yeah, you saw as they built into the game, Rachel Daly, they started to find her higher up the pitch, and the well-worked play through the midfield here from Aston Villa, a direct ball, she almost capitalises and gets on the end there. Is a little unfortunate, but this is what they got to do more of, Jordan Nobbs there picking up the ball, trying to look for those direct slide balls in behind the Chelsea defence. And every time they get out wide into those wide areas using Kirsty Hansen, they get a bit more joy. And this is where, you know,
that's the best chance, isn't it?
Daly comes alive, that near post run. She's just unfortunate there, she doesn't get clear contact, and to be fair, Magda Eriksson does very well to defend.
I think Rach Daly will be disappointed with that one because it's a textbook run across the near post, get across your defender, just doesn't make the contact. And this is the one that Farah got really excited about in commentary, but actually it dies a little bit. But Misevic does really well, gets her feet across, and that's why in the end she makes it look a standard save.
Farah's got every right to get excited because Aston Villa have scored 7 goals from outside the box this season, the most in the WSL. So they know what they're doing. They're going for it with Lucy Staniforth there. But in terms of when we're talking about the Aston Villa team as well, because they made changes to the lineup, bringing Mailing in, and actually she's had a huge impact, Anita.
Definitely for me, you know, the two fullbacks, Mailing, Mas Pacheco, they're really good at, you know, reading these defensive, the danger defensively. Here she recovers well, uses her body to just shield the ball between herself and Guru Wrighton. Here, this is what I really like. She gets close to her centre back, tries to keep it narrow, so that slip pass, you know, Sam Kerr can't get any end of it, recovers and gets the ball out.
Yeah, Sam Kerr's going on the outside there to try and drag out, to stretch out that defence and to open up the gaps for other players, and Sarah Mailing does really well to kind of hold a line. Serena Wiegman's here, she's English, you know.
She's got her eye on
some
her.
cover, yeah.
Well, another player who's definitely impressed for Chelsea, and we spoke a lot about her this season because she has come into her own. She's still a young player, but Lauren James is having an impact, especially down this right-hand side.
Yeah, I think she'll be a little frustrated, really, with how tame, you know, comparatively for her efforts have been. This being one of them, a well-worked set play, just the execution not particularly sharp. And this is where she's at her best, isn't it? Grass in front of her, space to run into, but decision-making as well as her actual execution has not been the best of Lauren James. And, you know, she'll probably, one of her own worst critics, Emma Hayes, has helped Lauren James come on leaps and bounds, both physically but decision-making wise, and it's not been her best 45, but you know what Lauren James can do. She can turn a game, you know, in a heartbeat.
And if it's not Sam Kerr or Lauren James, they had a huge, at the end, just before half-time, they had another huge chance, Anita.
Yeah, I think, you know, we know that she's always sharp. She's always waiting for those moments to just try and get on the end of things. And here you see Lauren James on the right-hand channel, pick up the ball, trying to commit the fullback here in Turner, turning her inside, outside. And, you know, she's just waiting for someone else to just come and support her, and it gets delayed, allows Aston Villa to recover their shape defensively. They got good control, but this is where I want to see them up the intensity. You know, in the end here, Parise has to get that on target, drive it hard and low back across the goalkeeper.
You'd have scored that one out, wouldn't you, from right back?
I want off Alan Shearer celebrating from right back. In terms of Carla Wood, what do you think she'll be saying to her team?
I think they need to start the second half as they finished the first half. You know, the intensity was better. They took real care with their passing because I think they were liable. Kenza Darley, Jordan Nobbs on occasions turning over possession too easy. They have to look after it in the middle of the park. Because that is exactly where Erin Cuthbert will pick the ball up if it's transitioned, and she will drive, and Chelsea flooded players forward. Aston Villa looked a little vulnerable when turning the ball over in midfield in that early sort of 20-25 minutes, but they've tightened it up. Take care of those passes and need to make more set pieces. They had a flurry of corners towards the end of the first half and didn't make enough of it.
OK, well, the first of the semi-finals took place yesterday as Manchester United hosted Brighton. And if you missed it, you missed a cracker bit. Here are the best bits.
Goes via Tricky Sari. Tolland's arriving as well. They've got the bodies forward again. Brighton, good save by Mary Earps. No, she's not kept it out. And Sari for Brighton gives them a shock lead against Manchester United. Remarkable. Well, a goalkeeper of her quality, you'd expect to deal with that, but she wasn't able to. But here come Manchester United. Great driving run. Galton scores inside the opening minutes of this second half. Oh, she loves playing Brighton, this woman. 5 goals in her last 4 games against them, and there is the response that Mark Skinner's side needed. 1-1. Anticipated well by Zellem. Brighton just looking a little tired all of a sudden in terms of distribution. And here goes Russo! Manchester United hit the front. A finish of real quality from Manchester United's and England's Alessia Russo. Under pressure from Daniel Carter, doesn't deal with it, Carter in, Carter clinical, Brighton back in this, 2-2. What a cup tie, and that's what the experience of a four-time FA Cup winner can bring from the bench. Brighton's top scorer at it again. And here comes Zellem for Manchester United, and now she finds Williams, and the flag stays down, it's Rachel Williams with the goal that could send Manchester United to Wembley and could bring them to their first major final in their history. They lead Brighton by 3-2.
What a game. We're hoping for some goals in this second half, please. In terms of that, Rachel Williams, look, she's been around the league, she's experienced, so a huge moment, Rachel, for her to get that winning goal.
Do you know what? I mean, she's played in the Olympics, she's played in major tournaments at the very top level, and this is exactly what Mark Skinner brought her to Manchester United to do. She knew she wasn't going to play 90 minutes. She knew she'd be able to come on and be an impact player, and if you need a cool head, someone to slot the ball with composure at the sort of at the time when your opposition are flagging, then Rachel Williams is you know, it's a no-brainer. So I'm delighted for her, because I think, you know, she's been on a journey with injuries, and when she was at Spurs had a bad injury, and you know, a bit of a journeyman in football in respects, but fantastic to lead her team out to Wembley, I'm sure, in a few weeks' time.
That's what, how big for the club?
Massive.
Anita.
First time in a final, an opportunity to try and get some silverware, you know, in the cabinet. And you said Rachel Williams there, got a match winner, veteran player, loads of experience. It's a great occasion for them.
Okay, well, let's get you over to Jeanette Quashie right now, because I believe she's got a CEO with her.
I do indeed. Villa CEO alongside me, Christian Perslow. For you, Christian, this is a huge game. I see you're dialed all the way in. You've been really watching. And how important is it for the club today?
Well, it's a wonderful day for women's football. What a fantastic cup tie, old-time football. I think we're putting a good account of ourselves so far against one of the best teams in Europe, and it's a brilliant advert for women's football at a moment in a really great season for the women's game.
And the overview of the season for Aston Villa, they've been able to really push and show that they are a cut above the rest in terms of the mid-table teams, and really on the outside there are some of the title contenders as well.
Well, we're not there yet. You know, let's make those judgments at the end of the season. But we've certainly had a very good season. We've been very competitive. Carla, who maybe a lot of people don't know this, but I had the pleasure to work with Emma for a few years at Chelsea. She was a big supporter of Carla, helped me make that decision, and Carla's having a great season at Aston Villa. I think she's recruited well. I think the team are very competitive. And yeah, there's a right old battle below those traditional huge clubs to be best of the rest.
Absolutely. And for you, when you think about the recruitment in terms of Jordan Nobbs and Rachel Daly, how much has that pushed on the team to bring in such experienced players like both of those?
Well, I think we've got a really nice balance. We're very proud of our homegrown players. We have a brilliant training centre in Birmingham. Laura and Sarah, who are homegrown players, are also in that first team squad. But yes, I think she's very wisely brought in some senior footballers, really experienced players from the highest level, just to get that nice balance of youth and experience.
But it's been nice today also to be the crowd just here as well with you watching. It's been brilliant, hasn't it?
I think we've done a really good job, and I really like to thank our friends at Walsall. They're brilliant hosts. It's crucial in the women's game that clubs like Walsall help us with facilities. It's not always possible to play at our main home stadia, and I think it's a wonderful occasion and a wonderful place to play football.
Well, let's see how the second half pans out. Christian, thank you for joining us.
Very much.
Thank you.
Yeah, great to hear from Christian there, and thank you, Jeanette. But just a reminder that over on iPlayer right now, you can watch France take on Scotland in the Women's Six Nations, and tonight at 10:30, sorry, I was getting ahead of myself because Jill Scott is making her debut on Match of the Day 2 for that one on BBC One. And more women's football for you on Wednesday night from 7:05 as Manchester United host Arsenal in the WSL, and that one is over on BBC 3. And on the iPlayer, there's this.
follow a band of misfits that want to prove that being an outsider is being part of something special.
This school is all about rebirth. Chance to shed all that baggage from the past and rise up from the ashes.
This is a really bad idea.
Everyone's got a story.
You got a problem with Layla? You come talk to me, all right?
Everyone's got a past.
Jealousy stinks most. Someone's got to liven things up around here.
Phoenix Rise. Watch on BBC iPlayer.
As you can see, Pernille Harder is warming up for Chelsea. Will we see her in the second half? Well, in case you missed any of the action from the first half, here's a reminder of everything.
Good afternoon, everyone. One game from Wembley. High stakes here in Walsall. Here's Lauren James. Flashes it wide. Turner just took the sting out of the shot. It's James, inches wide. Hansen gets the cross in towards Daly. And a swing from Staniforth.
Anita, we can see Pernille warming up. Do you think that's the change that Chelsea need?
Yeah, definitely. I said, you know, they need someone to play closer to Sam Kerr and link up that play, find those slip passes. And she's the perfect player because she gets between the lines. She loves committing people 1v1 and she's experienced. She loves these big stage, you know, games as well.
Oh, and she'll be so hungry. She's been out for so long for Chelsea. Chelsea really missed her. You know, Frank Kirby's also missing in that sort of number 10 position. And another one for Serena to watch with Denmark being in England's group for the World Cup.
We see Samantha Kerr coming out right there, ready to go. We spoke about the battle in midfield. Who do you think's winning that at the moment, Anita?
Well, I think it's been a really good contest, actually. I think Chelsea started winning the battle early on with Erin Cuthbert, but Nobbs has definitely imposed herself more now, and her and Darley are linking up well to sort of dominate that. So if they start this half the way they finished it, they'll definitely get on top.
And look at that, starting them young right there, Rachel.
Beautiful. Chat to my daughter this morning after her football match as well, so starting as young as you can, but it's great to see so many families and children being inspired by these women out on the pitch.
I love that scarf. Bigger than actually the outfit right there. It's time to get you back to our commentary team of Farrah Williams and Robin Cowan.
Thank you very much, Alex. So still goalless between Chelsea and Aston Villa in this semi-final of the FA Women's Cup. The prize, a chance to lift the trophy at Wembley on the 14th of May. And almost a game of two halves in the first half. Farrah, half-time seemed to come at a good time for Chelsea, although they did have that big chance right at the end.
Yeah, I said if Aston Villa were to up the intensity of their play, they could really try punish this Chelsea team. They hadn't done that until the last 10 minutes of the first half, and they created some chances with that. But this Chelsea team always know how to stay in the game, and we saw that chance right at the half that, you know, that Perez should have put away, and they could have gone into the half 1-0 up. So both teams come out on 0-0 at half-time, fresh mindset, and a big 45 minutes for both teams.
Well, no changes at the break. Flags are waving. The claret and blue. A lot of support for them. And we saw Pernille Harder warming up during the half-time break. A huge boost to have her back, still without Fran Kirby. Wrighton delivers the cross towards James. Shankovic off the post. Opening seconds of the second half, and Chelsea nearly take the lead.
Big chance for Chelsea, and it's come from a flick on from Sam Kerr, and Wrighton just digs one out here towards the back post. You see Lauren James just misses it, and it's Shankovic here with a strike, a difficult strike, and just hits the top, either the top of the crossbar, I think, or the post, but a really good strike. Maz Pacheco doesn't time her strike well, and it falls to Shankovic with a big chance.
Villa nearly caught out very, very early on. And that's what Chelsea can do to you. So it's a common theme this season. We say they haven't looked at their best, and yet they still managed to keep winning. And that cup final defeat to Arsenal in February will still be hurting, I'm sure.
Most definitely will be hurting these Chelsea players. You know, they have a winning mentality like no other, and that's why they've done so well over the years. So that cup final certainly will be hurting, and they want to get to another Wembley final.
Almost a week to prepare. Saturday at home to Barcelona at Stamford Bridge, the first leg of their semi-final.
Some really difficult games coming up for Chelsea, but they'll be pleased with Harder being back on the bench and somebody that they can add to their squad. This is the chance. Great strike, hits it nicely, and it just comes off right at the top of the post, which looked as if it was the crossbar, but Mads Pacheco, her timing to clear the pass wasn't right.
Did feel that Chelsea could go up a couple of levels. Wrighton clattered by Mailing.
It's smart from Wrighton. She just uses the pace of the ball and can feel the defender Mailing coming in and just gets her body, as you see here, in between, and really late there for Mailing.
Wants to be aggressive, but isn't really anywhere near the ball. That challenge. Eriksson manages to find Kurt. Heresy on the overlap, forced away from goal, and the assistant referee's flagging for a foul.
Darley standing in front of the assistant ref here, having a pop. I'm unsure what I'd like to see the replay. It's too far away for us to see whether there was any contact. But Darley seems to think not. See here. The initial tackle looks fine. It's a soft one. You can see the frustration now, why Darley's so frustrated with that. Real soft, and it's a big chance for Chelsea, right on the edge of the box.
Just a little hand on the shoulder perhaps, but yeah. Just too aggressive according to the assistant referee.
Be interesting if Chelsea do score from this. The reaction, and I'm sure Carla Ward won't be happy if they do.
She certainly wasn't happy with the award. Wrighton goes low. Well fielded by Hannah Hampton.
Hard and low here, you can see from Wrighton, hoping for that near post run and somebody just to get a touch on it, but Hannah Hampton does well, just to collect the ball.
Difficult opening to this half for Villa. Struggled to really get hold of the ball. You can hear Carla Ward. We're not too far away from her, but she is airing her frustrations. Here's Kenza Darley. She had a few options to thread the ball through. Mailing goes for the chip. Oh! That would have been spectacular. Musovic was backtracking.
It was a good effort, but an effort that wasn't supposed to go towards goal, and you can see that from Mailing's reaction. She was trying to dink one to the far post, and in doing that, she actually nearly lobs Musovic there. And it was her reaction after she'd, I'm saying, chipped, delivered. She was a bit disappointed in that, but if it went in, I'm sure she wouldn't have been. She's apologising there for the delivery that nearly went into the back of the net.
No question, Farah, in your mind.
I wouldn't have apologised. I would have pretended I meant to hit towards goal, for sure.
Staniforth with a knock to the head. So that came from Kenza Darley. Been running towards goal, but she's held on to it for too long. Here's the challenge on Staniforth. The use of the elbow from Cuthbert.
Yeah, slight use of the elbow. I think the difficulty is when you're so small and you use that leverage, you need it to get yourself up and challenge. And I'm sure there was nothing in it from Cuff, but yes, there was a slight contact. I think it was more the reaction of the ball hitting her after. Lucy Staniforth wasn't expecting it.
Double whammy for Staniforth. She's off the field, but she come back on when allowed to by the referee. Sent down the line towards Lehman. Overcooked that pass, Leupolz.
Yeah, really overcooked. Big heavy pass wasn't needed. She had enough time in the middle of the park just to take a touch, maybe even go out the opposite side and switch the play out to Lauren James.
Deeper. 13-match unbeaten record in the FA Cup. Chelsea. The last defeat was in the semi-final to Everton back in 2020. Erin Cuthbert not very pleased with some of the attention that she was paid. Snapping at her heels. Award not happy with that decision. An award of a throw-in, by the way.
Nothing like being competitive in a semi-final, is there?
Finds Wrighton. Cuthbert gets it out of her feet. Tries to pick out Perisset, but Kirsty Hansen was there. Gets past Perisset with ease. Now Darley. Jordan Nobbs frustrated, felt that was a bit of an easier pass towards her. Jankovic calms things down.
Just forced there from Darley. They had really good possession and could have maybe made something of it, but yeah, just a forced pass into Lehman when Jordan Nobbs was probably the better option to progress the attack.
In a very different way from the game 2 weeks ago in the WSL. Chelsea were very, very comfortable 3-0 winners. It's always interesting when two teams meet each other back to back.
Yeah, no game's ever the same or ever as easy as you think it might have been at the first one. So I'm sure, and you heard in Emma Hayes before the game saying she doesn't expect a same game or a game that was as comfortable as a WSL game.
Patton stepping in and intercepting. Staniforth. Cuthbert did come off Patton. Gura Wrighton's got a bit of space to deliver. It's all a bit messy. Here's Lauren James. Jankovic. James. Jankovic once again. And the defenders quick off their mark to defend, but here's a chance. James. Block from Turner. Still alive. Kerr. Carter. And now Wrighton. Villa doing their defensive duty well, and eventually the referee blows the whistle for a foul and a free kick for Villa. The pressure is relieved.
Wow, unbelievable defending, but the initial block, this block here from Turner is a match-winning block. You can see here Lauren James, the way that Turner gets herself in front of Lauren James' strike is fantastic. Not sure there was too much in this from Wrighton. I'd like to see here on the replay. A little shove, probably as soft as the one that Pacheco gave away a little bit earlier in the free kick that was outside the box.
Some of the Arsenal contingent here, perhaps supporting Anna Patton, who's on loan with Villa from Arsenal.
Or Jordan Nobbs, their old teammate.
Jordan Nobbs. No prizes to guessing who they'll be supporting today, let's just say that.
I reckon Chelsea.
That's good play, Daly. Well, she miscued that. Eriksson was very tight to her, so may have just put her off.
I think you can see here, Darley does really well here. Out on the left-hand side, just cuts back onto her right. Great delivery. Eriksson just allows Rachel Daly to just get behind her, but I think in doing that, blocks Rachel Daly's vision of the ball coming in, and it just hits her head. You can see there. Really good delivery here from Darley into a danger area. Eriksson doesn't know too much about Daly, but Daly doesn't know too much about the ball coming in.
It's when those danger players, Darley, Daly, Hansen in particular, when they start to click, they'll look very potent in attack. Flag has stayed down. Here is Jordan Nobbs. Cross comes in. And Lehman! Side netting. Some of the fans inside the ground thought that was in.
The net certainly rippled, but I wasn't sure. It come from behind the goal. Good delivery from Jordan. The clearance here just falls to her. Big chance for Villa, big chance for Lehman to hit the target at least from that distance. And it goes wide of the post and behind the back of the goal, and that's why the net was rippling the way it was.
Came at her pretty quickly, but it was presented to her inside the box. 4 goals this season, 1 in the FA Cup. Brighton away from Sarah Mayling. Chankovic, lovely turn. Neat feet as well. Brighton, 1-0. Inevitable.
What Sam Kerr does. Sam Kerr doesn't have to be in the game for long. She's done really well in the game in open play, you know, really helping the ball on, but gets herself inside the box. A fantastic delivery, and she just gets the wrong side of the defender. Just as I said earlier in the game, she's so good at working the shoulder of centre halves and does it perfectly well here and gets her head onto the ball and in the back of the net. You'll see it here, Wrighton, a great delivery. I was crying out for Chelsea players to get in the box. There was nothing in there from Wrighton from the initial. Chankovic with beautiful feet here, really quick feet. And then this dink delivery that we're so used to seeing from Wrighton, and Sam Kerr just pulling away from the centre half. I think she pulls away from Maz Pacheco here, gets herself in between, and a fantastic header at the back post, just rises above everybody. And she does it so often for this Chelsea team. It's a great header.
Another magnificent leap. Goal number 24 for Chelsea this season for Sam Kerr. That is what Chelsea can do, and that is what they do on such a consistent basis. It's almost like they give up chances on purpose to lure you in, and then they strike.
They do, and we're so often so used to seeing Wrighton to Kerr, that dink pass to the back post, because Sam Kerr's movement is so good. It's a fantastic header.
Hansen shrugs off the challenge.
Now we're starting to see a little bit more urgency in Villa's play.
Fizzer from Staniforth, very far out. I'd be surprised if Musovic didn't deal with that. But yes, absolutely urgency, and it's required from Aston Villa.
Yeah, it is. They're going to have to up the intensity. I've been saying it, you know, throughout the game, this opening 60 minutes. If they just up that intensity a little bit, what sort of pressure could they put on this Chelsea team?
You could see Carla Ward when that goal went in. She could see, even before Sam Kerr had made contact, she knew what the outcome was going to be. I think everyone did inside this stadium.
I think we all did. I could already see the move. It's the movement, Sam Kerr. She's a joy to watch. You know, if you're a football person, you're somebody that, and certainly strikers, some young strikers, in terms of movement, and really want to watch a good striker who has good movement, get your eyes on Sam Kerr, because she's fantastic for any young player to watch.
Mailing. Low ball across. Daly's there. Now Lehman. The layoff isn't great, but Jordan Nobbs gets there. Pacheco with the shot. Still Pacheco slips. More chances coming for Villa. They can't work a path towards goal. Musovic with another regulation save from Hansen this time.
Yeah, it's a comfortable save. They had a big chance just before. I think the set from Hansen to Nobbs on the edge of the box, who just overhit. But a half chance from Hansen on the edge of the box and a comfortable save, as you said, from Musovic.
It looks like Chelsea are ready to make a change. Sophie Ingle getting ready. It sparked Villa into life, though.
They have to come out now. They want to give themselves a chance of going to Wembley, and they have to really get at this Chelsea team. Certainly starting to see that.
Dahlia's made up a lot of ground. Not out of play for a goal kick. And here comes the Chelsea change. Sophie Ingle in action for Wales over the international break. Melanie Leupolz. I'm sure it's a blessed relief to be able to take that mask off.
Yeah, definitely. As I said before, I wouldn't have been able to play with that. It's a like-for-like change here, with Leupolz coming off and Ingle coming on.
We've also got Niamh Charles getting ready as well.
And replacing number 10, Lauren James. Number 21, Niamh
Lauren
Charles.
James being withdrawn.
It was one I mentioned at the half as they went in. I thought Emma Hayes might have done a little earlier, taken James off and brought on Charles, but they've done it now with, 25 minutes remaining in the game. Lauren James, job done for this Chelsea team, she would think. And a more defence-minded player now coming into the game in Charles.
A bit of a frustrating game for Lauren James. Showed some flashes of her brilliance in the first half.
Yeah, in and out of the game for me, Lauren James. It's difficult off the back of international when you're away from your teammates for a period of time, and Lauren James is just getting used to the international scene. She's only been called into the last few camps with the senior camp, so it's different. It'll be different loading on her body being away and having to come back and play a game 3 days or 4 days after an international fixture.
Crowd really getting behind Villa now. Hansen delivers over Daly. Lehman couldn't control. Some of the crosses into the box have been excellent.
Yeah, it comes from that left-hand side again. And this time it was Hansen with a really good delivery. Stands up the defender, pushes it past, and it's a great delivery, but Rachel Daly just too early with her movement and the ball goes over her head.
Patton sends it forward. Lovely touch, Jordan Nobbs. Finds Lehman. Off Carter. Spins out of play for a corner.
Aston Villa, and they've got You know, set pieces, as I mentioned before, can be a big weapon for them if they get it right.
Staniforth delivers towards Daly.
It's a good delivery, much better delivery from Lucy Staniforth into the danger area, but a difficult one for Rachel Daly to get up above and to hit it on target, especially under that amount of pressure. She's done well to win the header, you know, with 3 Chelsea defenders around her.
She's been shackled, really, so far in this game at least. Quarter of the FA Cup tie remaining. Hansen drawing another run at the Chelsea back line. Get back in numbers and defend their box well. Turner preventing Sam Kerr latching onto that ball over the top. Mailing into Nobbs, controls that beautifully. Not on the same wavelength as Lehmann, but Mailing battles for it. Lehmann brings it away from Carter. Decision is corner.
You could just see there Jordan Nobbs needed, I think it was Lehmann, just to stay behind her. She had her back to goal, so she wasn't going to be able to make a forward pass. So a little bit of confusion, but they managed to work a corner from it.
Good spell. Can they make the breakthrough? Just 5 clean sheets in the last 10 for Chelsea. Slightly unconvincing. Mailing digs it back in towards Anna Patton. Hansen. See what she was trying to do, but didn't quite come off. Clears upfield towards Sam Kerr. Again, Turner gets there first. Kenzadali. Just ran it out of play. Chelsea having to do a lot of work off the ball, but they seem happy to do it.
They do, and I think that's been a change in this Chelsea team this season. I think we're so used to seeing the Chelsea team play with a lot of possession and create a lot of chances, but with the injuries they've had, they've actually adapted to that really well, and they've been able to, you know, manage games, play without possession and play in those transition moments really well. So they certainly look a lot more comfortable defending without the ball now.
Third change for Chelsea. Jessie Fleming replacing Erin Cuthbert. Had to pull out of international duty with Scotland because of a slight injury, so perhaps just easing her back in. Carter finds Eve Charles. Still 20 minutes to go.
Charles will probably keep this long ball in as well. She's really quick. She's done well to keep it in, getting herself into the box.
Exceptionally well. Nearly found Sam Kerr as well. Second best to that. Pacheco had a big head start. She still managed to get there. Here's Kenzadali. Fleming.
See the game starting to open up a little bit. I think it will suit Chelsea if the game does open up more than it would Aston Villa.
Chelsea on course for yet another Wembley final.
Confirmation of the change for Chelsea in the last few moments, replacing number 22, Erin Cuthbert, number 17, Jessie Fleming.
That flurry of chances. Chelsea now starting to get back their control. New Charles in a tussle. Darley. They're trying to work their way in tight spaces. Daly. Chelsea made 3 changes. Villa still yet to bring on any subs.
I was just looking at the bench to see who they have to bring on to make any sort of change, and they are nursing some ACL recovery, so it's not a game that you'd bring players on or into the game, you know, when you need to go and chase and win.
Foul on Fleming. Yes, most of the substitutes for Villa did a warm-up during the break, but McGill and Allen, who the ones who are back from ACL injuries, didn't take part in it.
Yeah, so I'm not sure. I think they're named on the bench. I'm not sure they'll be able to play many minutes, and certainly I'm not sure you'd want to come into a game like this, your first game back from a long-term injury. But they have Little John on the bench, midfielder. Could that change anything in the midfield? Could they bring her on? Experienced player.
Corner for Chelsea. They still have a few options. Blinkilla Brown, who's made a lot of appearances, the youngster, this season.
She's an exciting player. Blinkilla Brown, really, really exciting player for them. One that I know Carla Ward really likes and thinks really highly of, and knows she's got a bright future in this Villa team.
The corner for Chelsea. Brighton towards Charles. It's a lovely touch from Jess Carter to keep that one in. Here's Charles. Back to Carter. Here's Chankovic, picking up space between the lines. No offside.
Chankovic has picked up some really good positions in between the lines, as you mentioned there, and able to turn. She's really grown into the game. See here, great position, and Sam Kerr just runs herself offside. Chankovic maybe could have delayed the pass, allow Sam Kerr to come back into play.
Approaching the final quarter of an hour. Chelsea not home and dry yet. Certainly looked sluggish at times. It's a good ball towards Lehmann and cleared by Eriksson. Darley. Making the run towards the goalkeeper. A comfortable stop from Musovic. And a lot of those players will be in action. Wednesday night, Manchester United against Arsenal in the Women's Super League on BBC 3, 7:05.
And Katie McCabe will probably be sat in the same position as she's suspended after 5 yellow cards. So she'll be probably sat there with the kids babysitting on Wednesday night as well.
Very good point. She's going to be babysitting again then.
It looks as if she's bored the baby to sleep here. She does that quite well.
They've got headphones and an iPad, so the conversation doesn't sound exactly exhilarating.
Not sure she has much conversation anyway. I'm only joking. Katie knows I love her, really.
You better hope he's not listening to our commentary. He can relay that. Those big games just keep coming, and Aston Villa play both Arsenal and Manchester United in the run-in in the WSL, so they could have huge influence on where the title goes. Still really hard to predict, and who of the four is going to miss out on Champions League football? It's going to be such a huge blow, because it's going to be close.
It's going to be really close.
Mailing, Lehmann, unmarked. Chance. Again, in a good position, angle tight, but couldn't hit the target.
They do well here with Lehmann. Initially does well to face up and just lay it off in a wide area, continues their run and becomes really free inside the box. It's a great effort. It's just, she's hit it in the right area. You want to hit it across goal and hope that, you know, one of your strikers or the opposite wide player is going to come in off the line and get onto that. It's a good effort, and maybe she was more expecting somebody to come in and get on the end of it.
Villa still very much in this. We were just a few seconds away from extra time yesterday at Leeds Sports Village.
I thought Brighton was really good yesterday, give a fantastic account of themselves under new management as well, so a difficult one for them to come into in a semi-final.
Pace from Charles to put it back for Kerr! Well, that'll go down as a big miss for Sam Kerr. Usually buries them.
She does, and Charles just doesn't give up on a ball. So this is a ball that, you know, we'd assume is going out of play. She doesn't give up on it, does really well to keep it in, and Sam Kerr actually does really well to adjust her body to get any type of contact, and she would have hoped for that to have gone in, but a big chance.
Probably would have been game over. As it is, Villa still in this. Pacheco. Hansen receives it beautifully. It's a really good ball in. Lehmann picks it up. Carter does well initially. Lehmann comes away with it. Staniforth. Hansen, that's a good first touch. Daly. It fell for her. I'm not sure I was expecting it. She scuffed the effort.
Hansen does really well here to get a touch on this. And then the ball just goes through Mjelde's legs and falls to Daly, and she just lashes at it. No control in her strike here from Daly. But this is a fantastic delivery from Hansen. Similar to the one Lehmann put across the box, and Lehmann gets onto the end of it, but a really good delivery.
Yes, right, couple of good balls into those areas, no one there on the end of them. Here's Hansen. There are numbers in the middle now. Eriksson sticks out a leg. Hansen will get another go here. It's towards Lehmann. Darley! Another opportunity passed up.
You can see the frustration there in Darley's face. She has to hit the target, but again, it comes from Hansen out on his left-hand side. Had a really good game. Good delivery, and the clearance just falls to Darley. And she just smashes it over. Not really controlled enough for a player of her quality. But Hansen down that left-hand side for Villa all afternoon has been fantastic. I think she's had a really good duel up against Perisset. I like, you know, the duel that's happened down that side.
Real encouragement for Carla Ward. Created plenty. Just lack that little bit of composure, perhaps. Two balls on the pitch. Darley wants to say that quickly. Still hope.
Big 10 minutes for Villa. Big 10 minutes. And I think if anything, if they are to create anything, it is going to come down that left-hand side with Hansen.
Nice play from Patton, away from Brighton. Didn't fancy any of the forward options. Hansen. Again, great close control. Darley. Onto Mailing. Lehman. Daly sliding in, another move of real promise. Staniforth. Some claims of a handball, look like on the top of the shoulder from Jess Carter. Darley trying to find Daly. Chance, Mailing off the post. How close can you get?
They're certainly pushing Aston Villa from, you know, deliveries from wide areas and picking up second balls. You can see here the delivery just falls to Mailing. Fantastic touch. She hits it hard and low, and I think the bobble actually goes against her. It bobbles, that then takes it onto the post. So luckily for Chelsea, the bobble was there because it's a great strike, hard and low, and it just bobbles. Just there, you just see the bobble, and it actually takes it away from the goal and hits off the post.
The surface not Villa's friend.
And Emma Hayes was saying that they wanted to play at Villa Park because they wanted a better playing surface. That might have just saved them and seen them into a final of another FA Cup.
I don't think she'll be wanted to be reminded of that comment after that. But Chelsea now inviting pressure. Really do not look composed in defence. Villa throwing caution to the wind as they have to do. Five minutes of normal time to force extra time. Chankovic, it was Marami Elder actually. Matching Hansen and wanting a foul. But not getting it. Shoulder to shoulder. A long looping ball towards Patton. Anna Patton stayed down now. And the referee's going to have to stop this.
Trying to see what happened here. She challenges Ingle. Doesn't look much in it. The pattern.
The target of those deep corners, very tall, good in the air. Mailing forced back to Patton. Flick from Rachel Daly. That's pretty much all she could do with that. Here's Kerr. Again, the flag is up.
Today's official attendance read at 5,292. That's
5,292 in attendance.
Incredible support here.
Excellent attendance here at the Poundland Bescott Stadium. And another change for Chelsea. Johanna Reeting Cannerid on for the final couple of minutes for Guro Wrighton. Patton wins it. And Carter with a slightly rushed clearance. Mailing. Carter in the right place to repel Nobbs's cross. Back with Staniforth. Darley. Shields the ball well. Nobbs delivers, flicked on! And Kirsty Hansen can direct it back towards goal.
They've had some chances, Villa. This is a driven ball from Jordan Nobbs, a slight touch from Anna Patton, and Hansen round the back, just too late to get any sort of contact on it.
It looks like Patton has taken the Millie Bright England role up front. When they do have possession, trying to get the ball forward, she can win your headers. Kerr nods forward. Darley allowed to turn. Runners forward. Hansen. Brilliant challenge from Perisset, but Hansen doesn't give it up. Again, a dangerous ball in. Out of play.
Another fantastic delivery down that left-hand side from Hansen. See here, she gets away with one here. Falls back to her, just drives it. And there's no Villa player to get any sort of touch on it. It's a great delivery, right in the danger area, where you want the ball to go.
Couple of seconds to go until full time, unless we have another dramatic finish here. But Farrah Williams, your Vitality Player of the Match.
It's been a difficult one. I think Hansen down that left-hand side for Villa all afternoon has been fantastic. But I can't look past Sam Kerr, you know, which potentially could be the match-winning goal. The role she's played has been fantastic in this Chelsea team when they've been direct and needed an out. She's a willing runner and she's been fantastic in the goal that could take them to Wembley.
And here she is running the channels. Not afraid to do a job for the team as well. Sam Kerr could be, yet again, the match winner for Chelsea. What an important player she's been, and pretty much has been the difference today.
I think so. I think she's been fantastic. Certainly, you know, we spoke about Chelsea playing without possession, and they're able to do that when they have a striker like Sam Kerr in their team.
Daly, time running out for Villa to 4 minutes of added time. Nobbs delivers. because that is the aspect that has been missing from Aston Villa today. They've performed so well for the most part. Just that clinical edge has been missing.
Different. Sam Kerr's movement inside the box, the one chance, she needs one chance inside the 18-yard box, and she's guaranteed to score, and she's proved that today.
Kerr trying to get away from Turner. Heads for the corner flag. More seconds etch away. Turner under pressure, balls back to Hannah Hampton. You can see Carla Ward urging her team up the field.
She'll be hoping for one last chance, one big chance. Still a couple of minutes remaining.
Sent forward, Eriksson wins the header, unopposed. Hansen takes it down. But they know time is running out, so there's a few desperate passes creeping in now. Here's Nobbs, takes aim. Right down the keeper's throat. And no one's closing the keeper down so they can eat away a few more seconds.
Good strike here from Jordan Nobbs, one we're used to seeing normally, you know, hit the back of the net, but a comfortable save from Musovic here, straight down the middle. Really comfortable, didn't really have to do anything.
Foul by Sam Kerr. Carla Ward directing air traffic. Only in one direction. Nearly on the pitch. Telling them to get up the field. Launched forward. Towering header from Eriksson. Oh, and Kerr is all on her own here.
Took the game to bed.
She really can. A free run at goal, it's Kerr! Excellent save from Hannah Hampton. Seconds remaining. Villa still alive, just. Hampton's had so little to do in the second half. Daly wins the header, gathered by Musovic, and that might just be that. Anguish on the face of Carla Ward. It's all over. Chelsea had the chance to wrap things up through Sam Kerr. Hannah Hampton denied her, but Kerr's strike, not for the first time, is the difference. Chelsea heading to Wembley for the FA Cup final and on course for a third trophy in a row. Oh, they were made to work for this. Aston Villa gave everything, but Chelsea, as they do, found a way. And it will be Chelsea against Manchester United in that showpiece final at Wembley.
Yeah, they did. Aston Villa, certainly after the Sam Kerr goal, they really pushed. They threw everything at Chelsea to try and get themselves back into the game and gave a fantastic account of themselves. And you've seen at the final whistle there where the Villa players just dropped to the floor. They left everything out on the pitch, and as a manager in a club, that's all you can ask for from your players. And you know, as I said, two very competitive semi-finals we saw yesterday with Manchester United and Brighton. Again today, Aston Villa and Chelsea, and Villa certainly pushed Chelsea right until the death. And as you mentioned there, another cup final for Chelsea and a Sam Kerr goal that takes them there.
A familiar storyline for Chelsea. Aston Villa's cup run comes to an end, but they can take pride in their defeat. It is Chelsea who are heading to Wembley. Full time, Aston Villa 0, Chelsea 1.
Thank you, Robin. Thank you, Farah. Yes, Chelsea through Heading to Wembley once again. We know Emma Hayes likes a bit of silverware. I've got Rachel Brown-Finnis and Anita Asante alongside me. Chelsea getting the job done today, Rachel?
Just about, yeah. They rode a few storms, as did Aston Villa in that first half. It's so predictable in some ways that, you know, if you needed a defining player, it was going to be Sam Kerr. She's got world-class quality. And when she had that chance, she hung her hang time at the back post to the ability to control a header when was needed. I mean, so many missed chances from Aston Villa. You know, thinking about how many saves Hannah Hampton made, not many. And Emma Hayes will be reminding her team that they have to be more cutthroat, they have to be more ruthless. They play like that against Barcelona, which is what they've got coming up in the Champions League. They won't come out winning.
Do you think that's a sign of the serial winners that Chelsea are, Anita? They're not celebrating yet. Yes, they're through to that final, but they know performances may need to be better.
Absolutely. I think Aston Villa had Chelsea on the ropes, especially in the last 10-15 minutes, and they'll know they've got to, you know, step up and improve their performance. But, you know, job done today, and that's the professionalism of this team and the winning mentality that they have, that they always find a way, even when they're not at their best. And that's the Chelsea that, you know, we've been so used to seeing across this season.
And Sam Kerr being that all-important player for Chelsea once again, just like she was for Australia against England in that 2-0 win. But let's talk about Carla Ward and actually what she's done for this Aston Villa side.
Carla Ward has to be immensely proud of the girls today. You know, they put on a really good show. They gave it their all, especially towards the second half, at the end, creating so many fantastic chances, and they've had an unbelievable season. And this is actually the sort of momentum for them and a platform for them to keep building from. You know, they'll be disappointed because they really should, you know, deserved more from this game, I think, today. But, you know, they should be immensely proud of their overall performance.
Well, Rachel, she said it was their 3-year plan in the WSL to hopefully finish 5th. And as you can see from the players that they've brought in, the experience that they have around them now, they're on course to do that.
Absolutely moved in the right direction. You know, when they were first promoted, they looked not easy to play against, but you could see their vulnerabilities, and certainly squad depth-wise, they were certainly not there. But you'd expect that from a newly promoted team, especially as new as the WSL is as being fully professional. You know, teams coming up, it was huge, immense changes. But she has not just she's brought in talented players. She's thought very cleverly, you know, building that midfield with Kenza Darley and Lucy Staniforth. And Jordan Nobbs. That was really clever, bringing those three in, you know, players who've been around WSL, played internationally for long periods of time. They were players who she could go to as a relatively new manager to use their experiences in the WSL, their experiences in playing in cup finals or semi-finals. So I think, you know, aside from those three, players like Kirsty Hansen, I think it's been excellent today, but throughout the season, and as we mentioned before, Rachel Daly among having that mixture of homegrown players as well. And Hannah Hampton back to her best between the sticks as well, made a big save at the end.
I think you can tell from the noise, Anita, it's like as if they've won, but the fans are really behind and supportive of this Aston Villa team and the development.
Well, the fans have had a lot to get excited about this season. You know, started the season really well, opening win against Man City. They've continued that momentum. You're seeing Rachel Daly getting on the score sheet, you know, regularly, leading the charge from the front, Hannah Hampton in the sticks, and that spine through the midfield. Really solid, experienced players, hungry players, with a good blend of youth players coming through as well. And, you know, Sarah Mayling was exceptional, another homegrown, you know, talent from the Midlands, playing fantastic as a squad, and they're going to have more belief.
We're delighted to be joined right now by Sam Kerr. A huge congratulations. You're off to Wembley again. How does that feel?
Yeah, it feels good. I mean, that was a tough game, so it feels really good to get the win and back to Wembley.
And you seem to love scoring at the moment.
I mean, I just
against England.
So I'm feeling a bit better about myself.
But scoring the all-important goal, that's 23 goals for you now in 24 appearances.
Yeah, I mean, I play on an amazing team, so as the 9, it's a joy to be on this team. But I mean, you saw the service from Guru. I get that service every week from every player, so I'm just lucky to be a part of a great team.
Well, let's have a look at your goal. Can you talk us through the moment, please? We've seen you do this a lot in the WSL.
Yeah, I think Guru just put it in and she knows that I like it at the back post. So, I just assumed that she puts in balls like that all the time at training. So, just got to anticipate. And, once it was kind of hanging up, I knew my head was going on it.
How do you analyse the whole team's performance today?
You know what, it's hard to come back from the international break. We've, as you know, got a lot of injuries, but I thought we fought hard. It took 11 players and it was a bit of a gutsy performance. It wasn't as clean as we would have liked it, but coming back from international break, we've picked up injuries, coming down, travelling here, and the fans here made it tough. So all in all, it was a tough performance, but we got the win, so that's the most important thing.
What did the boss, Emma Hayes, say at the end in the huddle? She got, thick and fast to the sort of business end of the season games at the moment.
She said two things. One was well done, and I can't remember the other one. Thank you.
Well done.
Yeah, we got well done and thank you because, I don't know why actually.
Well, you've got a busy couple of fixtures coming up, huge fixtures coming up, Barcelona.
Yeah, it's a big fixture, obviously, Champions League. We'd like to play a bit better than we did today, but like I said, it's tough to come down here away from home, and our first game's at Stamford Bridge, so we'll be ready to go, and you saw the magic we produced last time, so it's the Champions League, everyone gets up for it.
Okay, well, Sam, thank you for joining us today. Thank you very much, Sam. And a huge congratulations.
Thanks guys.
Yeah, congrats.
Leave that there. Just carrying on from that, as Sam heads off right there. She's getting some love from the fans. Emma Hayes, a well done and a thank you. That's all.
That's all you need, isn't it, when you've come out 1-0, however that's happened. It's like hitting a rubbish golf shot and it ended up right by the pin. However it's ended up, the result is done and dusted and they're there at Wembley again. I wanted to ask Sam Kerr how close Pernilla Harder was to getting back fit and on the pitch, because she could be a huge asset and a huge surprise factor as well, coming into certainly the final at Wembley, but also the Champions League that precedes that.
Is that the thing that makes this Chelsea team, that they have such quality and strength in depth, Anita?
Yeah, I think, if you're going to fight across, for in all competitions, Champions League, the League, FA Cup, then you need the depth. You need to be adaptable. You need to equate for every scenario and situation. Obviously, we haven't even mentioned Fran Kirby not being on the pitch, not being available. It's been really important for their run this season, and you can see that lots of players. Kankovic came in, was impactful in the second half, created opportunities for them to go on in attack, and that's what they need to sort of, reach their goals throughout the season.
Well, they hung on and they are off to Wembley, but we need to talk about the amount of chances that Villa had, Rachel.
Yeah, they will be kicking themselves. Like, none of them were sort of, open goal in front of the empty goal, but they were more than half chances. This one from Alicia Lehmann, she's got to go low and high, certainly across the goalkeeper, just poor execution. See the pitch sort of like churning up, and that certainly didn't help Villa towards the end. And Musovic certainly in the Chelsea goal made more saves than Hannah Hampton by a long, long way, but none of them really stretched her to her limits. And again, that was the deciding factor. It was Sam Kerr had, all right, she said 2 chances and one of them right at the end, Hannah Hampton had the better of her. But these chances, they just were snatched at, bit of lack of composure, and they just couldn't, as much as they tried to grind out something. This one, arguably the best from Sarah Malin, they just couldn't get over the line, literally.
And that's the difference between the two sides, finding that composure to steady yourself in those defining moments where you suddenly get the opportunity in front of goal and you just got to find the target. A lot of those situations, they just hit the target. They force Musovic maybe to parry the ball and it lands right at Daly's feet.
Okay, well, let's hear from the Aston Villa manager, Carla Wall, because she's with Jeanette.
Thanks, guys. Carla, it wasn't meant to be today. Would you say, in terms of the chances that were missed, was that the main thing for you?
Yeah, look, I'm heartbroken for the players tonight. I thought we were outstanding today, I really do. I thought we were a better team over 90 minutes. And I said to the players, if we can go out there, leave everything out there and do everything that we've asked of them, we'd come off knowing, would be happy. And, if the best team won, the best team won. But I don't think the best team did win today. And I think it's heartbreaking. You see some of the girls in tears. It's been some journey. But yeah, look, credit Chelsea. They've got match winners and she's done exactly what she does week in, week out, Sam Kerr. So we wish them all the very best. They're an unbelievable side. And yeah, we're just very, very, we got it tonight.
It's one of those results potentially that didn't, like you say, reflect the performance. But in terms of the running that you've had with this FA Cup, where does it fit in with the overall building blocks for the squad?
Yeah, massive. Look, I said to the players at the end, if we're talking about actually closing the gap, we've shown again we can compete. The fact they had to revert to 5 at the back, you know, with the last 10 minutes tells its own story, and we are starting to cause problems. But like I said, there's a long way to go. You know, to do it over the course of a season is a bigger ask. It's really important that we continue to grow. But yeah, that one tonight, I'm not going to lie, it hurts.
Commiserations. Really sorry about that. Thanks a lot, Carla.
Thank you.
You can hear and see how gutted she is for her team, and you both know, we all know that feeling of the regret that you know you could have won up against this Chelsea team, and like those chances that we saw, Rachel.
That's the thing that will keep them up tonight. You know, it's not joyful celebrations, it's that not like kind of really gnawing inside of you, that the missed chances, the should have done that, the kind of the decision making that wasn't quite there. Alicia Lehman had a couple of could have made better decisions, better execution. I'm not sure the best team, you know, didn't win, lost today. There wasn't a lot between them, and ultimately, you can see why Chelsea have won so much, because far from at their best, they still got the job done.
It shows the development, though, that those players are gutted, Anita.
Yeah, because the ambition has shifted again. You know, I went from a team where we were fighting relegation just to stay in this division, and now you've got a team that believes they can close the gap on the top 4 and really cause problems, as they showed today. So now they've got the foundation and a building block to push on from this moment.
I feel like we've been like with you today, because we didn't even ask you what team. We know you played for both, with what team you were going with. Don't know if you just saw behind us, but Alicia Lehman did run. She's over here signing some shirts for the fans. But just before, she spoke with Jeanette.
Alicia, a really frustrating game, I'm sure, for you, but for the team today, not able to execute that and put it away, your general thoughts on that?
Yeah, I think we gave everything. All of the players gave 100%. I think we would have deserved to win the game. We had a lot of chances. We had a lot of possession as well. So it's like, it hurts a bit, you know, to be honest, because at the minute we compete with the best, we win against the best, and that one hurts a lot, because I think we deserved it to win.
And the positives that you can take from that, where you're at the moment as a squad, are there any?
I mean, at the moment, obviously, we're really disappointed, because we really want this game to win, and we prepared really well for that. And you could see on the pitch, we were all hungry to win this game and play in Wembley. But obviously, we can take some stuff now. Chelsea is one of the best teams in the world, and we can compete with them. I think we had more chances, and we just didn't score. So obviously, we take this from this game.
What was it in particular today that didn't quite come off for you?
I think we just didn't use our chances. We created a lot in front of the goal. We just missed the goal, you know. Sometimes it happens in football, and today's it's not our lucky day, I guess.
Okay, well, commiserations. Thanks for speaking to us today, Alicia.
Thank you so much.
Anita, that's the thing. They did everything. You could see it was there, apart from put the ball in the back of the net.
They did everything, as you said. They play with a lot of heart, a lot of desire. They were hungry. They like I said, they had Chelsea on the ropes. It was just those final moments, the decision making, the clinicalness, that didn't see them over the edge today.
Okay, let's get straight back to Jeanette, because she's now with the Chelsea manager, Emma Hayes.
Emma, congratulations. A final place awaits. Your assessment on today's performance?
What I expected, difficult pitch, ugly game. Took the goal when we were on top in the game. I thought we dropped off, and Villa made it a brilliant cup tie, but of course delighted to be in the final.
What made Villa so good today, and why you worked really hard to try and get that past them?
It's their cup final. They had everything to play for. Packed crowd, record attendance, nothing to lose, everything on the line, and I thought they'd give as best as they possibly could.
And in terms of your defence, they had to work really hard today. Your assessment on them and a word on the defence?
Yeah, I think did a great job, kept a clean sheet. I think you have to expect an onslaught of such when you're away from home. As I said, the pitch made it really, really challenging. Players to get a grip. That penalty box, there's not a lot of grass in there. So I think for that reason, it made it tricky. And nonetheless, we took the goal at the right moment.
So your fixture list stays pretty full now, on the way to Wembley. And for you, what is it to really keep the motivation for the players going towards that final?
You get to play in the FA Cup final at Wembley. What motivation do you need? This is what we all dream about. It's what we work hard for, and I'm delighted that we got the opportunity to defend our title.
Well, congratulations today.
Thank you. Thanks.
Not much of a smile there from Emma Hayes. Maybe she's saving that one for Wembley because she knows it's a huge month for them now. Off to Wembley, the Champions League. That treble is still on, Rachel.
Massive, massive. And we talked briefly about squad depth. I remember when a few years ago when Emma Hayes got to the final and they got absolutely demolished. You know, it was a couple of years before that, she knew they had to have international players on the bench. They had to have that depth, and that was where that kind of strategy started. And where she is now is a result of her learning. Carla Ward will learn from her experiences about building on this and using it as a platform. As disappointing and as zero consolation as it is when you lose something like this, it hurts. You will learn something from it. So Emma Hayes will be looking forward to this final month. Her ultimate goal is to win that Champions League. That's the one that's missing.
It's the one that's missing from the trophy cabinet for Emma Hayes. They're currently second in the WSL. We're having a fantastic, exciting end to the season, Anita. But that treble, do you think they can do it?
They're on course, you know, at the moment, but they got to look on every competition as it comes. You know, judging by that performance
That's such
today,
a player answer, that one, isn't it?
In all honesty, judging on the performance today, I fear for them going into that Champions League game against Barcelona. I definitely think they have to improve their levels and their intensity, and you know, be tidier and enjoy more of the ball, because they really didn't dominate possession in the way that you would like to see a Chelsea team do.
Okay, well, we know Chelsea are off to Wembley. But if you missed yesterday's game, Manchester United hosted Brighton, and here's the best of that action.
Goes via Tricky Sari. Talon's arriving as well. They've got the bodies forward again. Brighton, good save by Marriott. No, she's not kept it out. And Sari for Brighton gives them a shock lead against Manchester United. Remarkable. Well, a goalkeeper of her quality, you'd expect to deal with that, but she wasn't able to. But here come Manchester United. Great driving run. Galton scores inside the opening minutes of this second half. Oh, she loves playing Brighton, this woman. 5 goals in her last 4 games against them, and there is the response that Mark Skinner's side needed. 1-1. Anticipated well by Zellem. Brighton just looking a little tired all of a sudden in terms of distribution. And here goes Russo! Manchester United hit the front. A finish of real quality from Manchester United's and England's Alessia Russo. It's under pressure from Daniel Carter. Doesn't deal with it. Carter in. Carter clinical. Brighton back in this. 2-2. What a cup tie. And that's what the experience of a 4-time FA Cup winner can bring from the bench. Brighton's top scorer at it again. And here comes Zellem for Manchester United. And now she finds Williams, and the flag stays down. It's Rachel Williams with the goal that could send Manchester United to Wembley and could bring them to their first major final in their history. They lead Brighton by 3-2.
First of all, huge congratulations on reaching your first FA Cup final with United. You didn't have it all your own way in the end, but just sum that one up for me.
The good, the bad and the ugly. I thought Brighton were excellent, showed real class at times. We were a yard off first half. We addressed that at half-time. Uncharacteristic mistakes from us for the goals, which we don't usually do. We've been very good for a reason at the back. But again, we'll put that down to coming off an international break and getting back together and so on. But we'll work on those. But yeah, after all, the result matters, and we're at Wembley.
Just a word on Rachel Williams. She always gets the job done, doesn't she?
Magnificent, you know, to think she's a veteran of the league, but she comes in with the experience and the calmness of the moment to make that moment happen. That's a magnificent moment, and Rachel deserves that because she absolutely gives everything for this team.
Melissa, I know you'll be hugely disappointed with how that game went in the end, but at the same time, there must be huge amounts of pride from the performance your side put in.
Yeah, I think we came here to make a really good account for ourselves. This is day one, effectively. So we wanted the performance to be there first and foremost, but then, look, those players, the performances have always been there. It was the fight, and it was the attitude, and it was the response to transition moments, and they were brilliant. It's just needing a little bit of identity and a little bit of belief, and I don't think United thought we were going to come out and press them the way that we did, and I think the girls executed it brilliantly. We've only really had 2 days of training together, so I'm excited to get stuck in with this group and see where we can go.
At times today we saw you clutching a notebook. What's the one key thing that's written down in there that you'll be taking away from this?
It's the attitude of the players. I think the resilience that they showed was brilliant, and then look, there's going to be a few key places that we can manage the game better, but we take away the attitude from today.
Well done for today. It was an outstanding performance, an outstanding game, and congratulations on the performance.
Thank you so much.
And we now know our final. Manchester United taking on Chelsea. And what a game it is going to be, Rachel.
Well, that single spectacle at Wembley, we expect a record crowd, once again, is going to be fantastic. And what history is already for Manchester United to be in their first ever FA Cup final. But do you know what? Leading up to that, there's 3 games that precede that. And Mark Skinner will still have his eye on the title. Manchester United fans and players will still be wanting to push for that title. Certainly, end up in that key top three spot for a European place for next season. These are all historic moments, and so Mark Skinner should be very, very proud of them. But this is the end of the season where it could be a fabulous season, or it could be a pretty good season.
Well, you mentioned the WSL there. They've actually got a huge game on Wednesday night, which we're showing on BBC Three, Anita. A title decider, potentially up against Arsenal.
Yeah, this is the first test of their title chasing dream. So they really got to come out with better intensity. Mark Skinner was happy with the result they got, obviously, to reach the FA Cup final, but he felt that they had other levels in them. So if they do that against Arsenal, who knows? It's just going to be a thrilling end to the season. And like Rachel said, they've made a historic progression for the club, reaching a final.
And 2 totally different feelings going into this final at Wembley, because you've got Chelsea, they've been there, they've done it, and that hunger to do it again. But in a Manchester United team, you two remember that feeling, that first time getting into that cup final?
Well, I remember 2010 when we actually beat you, Everton, against Arsenal, and you probably went in like Chelsea, expecting to win, and we went in as underdogs in the first time in a final, and the feeling of winning that, and upsetting the odds, that is, it's kind of a similar situation really to Chelsea, who've won it lots of times before, and Manchester United, who were there for the first time and excited. So it's, Chelsea will have the advantage, been able to manage the occasion. They've been there and done it before. Manchester United will have that adrenaline rush, they'll have that thrill. They'll hopefully go in as well with momentum. They got Arsenal, Villa and Tottenham before that to play. They'll hopefully continue that momentum, go in feeling that they are, invincible, that they're playing their best football. And, a cup final throws up some upsets sometimes.
And when you look at that Manchester United team, though, some of those players have had very special moments at Wembley already, Anita.
Well, yeah, winning the Euros. You got Tooney in there, Russo, Mary Earps, a number of players that have been at on a major platform winning something special. And now they have an opportunity to do that domestically together again for Man United. And actually, I think they'll go there and hopefully will play with a bit of freedom and sort of pressure off, knowing that they could just go out there and push Chelsea, to try and retain the title.
OK, then you two. So no sitting on the fence with this one. Which way do you think it's going to go?
Do you know what? If I have to round it up, I'd say let's go Manchester United. Those travelling fans are going to love that day out.
OK, Anita?
You know what? I was actually going to say probably Man United as well.
Probably?
I think Man United this time round. I think the last time out against Chelsea, for me, they were the better side and they were very unfortunate to come out with the win. And I think the way they play and dominate the ball, Chelsea are going to have a hard time.
Well, there you have it. They've both gone Manchester United. Thank you both for joining me today. And thank you for joining me at home. You don't have to wait very long for the next action from women's football. We'll see you on BBC Three on Wednesday. Goodbye.
Still goalless between Chelsea and Aston Villa. Shankovic.
We're smashing through the Raptors too. We can't be beat.
Malin goes for the chip. Oh! And Lehman! side netting. Brighton, Kerr! 1-0. Kerr, big miss. Darley, chance, Mailing, off the post. Chelsea heading to Wembley for the FA Cup final.